They're senior in no department. Speed, power, chance, heart, none.
Alright.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Talking big facts, I ain't tell no lies. Real talk like fight fan. Slap a troll with my right hand. Hit the like button, watch the replay. Want all the smoke like EJ. Fuck a troll, what he say. I bomb a nigga like Wilder, boy. Spray the thing, make shower, boy. Tyson Fury, you a coward, boy. Box a nigga like Ego. Make you bow your head, take one knee like Kell Brook and Tim Tebow. Since the time that Lester been black and eyes like Debo.
Like Debo?
And I'm a breadwinner like Kevin Gates. Smoke strong, make you levitate. On my evil Spence, might meditate. Gon' watch me, you gon' steady hate. But I pimp the game like 7-8.
7-8.
And I'm a big stepper like Money Brown. I don't mess around, I don't fuck around. But I fuck around, not wear my crown.
Fuck around, not wear my crown.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again. Trio talk like fight fan. There you go talking that boxing again. This trio talk like fight fan. There you go talking that boxing again. Trio talk like fight fan. There you go talking that boxing again. There you go talking that boxing again. There you go talking that boxing again.
Yeah, what it is. Chef ID in the building. What's good with you? Christopher Russell off in the building. Be that bitch off in the building. I appreciate that. BG off in the building. Cassandra Mason. What's going down with it, Queen? Yeah, there you go talking that boxing again. What's happening with it? Mr. Big Stepper.
Yes, sir. Don't make me 80-20 man, nigga, man.
Man.
Don't make me 80-20 man, nigga, man.
I'm talking about a 60-40. I'm talking about a 70-30. I mean an 80-20 love. That nigga, he got his Teddy Pendergrass on.
You hear me? Don't make me 80-20 man, nigga, man.
Knockout Boxing 86 TV. What it do? What it is? He said, y'all had me dying on Money Channel last night. Man, hey, boy, hey, I had your boy pressed. Hey,
what Troy ass left to right?
Hey,
Motherfucker stealing off left to right on Troy ass. Stand him up. Stand him up.
Mad, man.
Stand him up.
Bull Groove Boxing. What's good with it? Off in that super chat. Straight from that Oak Cliff. He says, re-riding down here in Dallas. Real talk. Shout out to that whole.
No, Negro. He said we riding with you down here in Dallas.
Oh, we ride with you down here in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I see
bro,
what you said. I just misread it. Christopher Russell. He said 80-20 fair. Christopher Jernett said 80. Errol started to sound like a troll, man. We gonna get into it. Reggie Robinson, what's good? Knockout Boxing says y'all want to let your boy cook with you. Yeah, we'll send you the link. Send him the link, money.
No doubt. I got you. I got him.
Yeah, send him the link. Yeah, you can get on. You get on, man. And when y'all come in the building, hit that like button. Hit the like button.
Going down. Queen, how you doing, babe? You going down, Cassandra?
Yes, sir. Make sure y'all hit that like button when you jump in the building. Yeah. He's having fun with it. Yeah. We gonna get into it, man. Travion, I know you watching. You know what I'm saying? Travion, I know you watching.
His name ain't Travion. That's Baby Crawford. That's Baby Crawford. Yeah, we gotta be fragile with a Baby Crawford, man.
He don't want no smoke, man.
Yeah, I seen that. We gotta be fragile with a Baby Crawford.
I still fuck with the young dude, man. He know better though, man. I gotta give it to him. He's a smart. He's a smart young one. You know what I'm saying? He's a smart young man. Leon Robinson, what's good with it? We gonna get into it, man. And like I said, y'all hit the like button, man. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Money. So first thing, I want to get on, man, is Gary Russell, man. Gary Russell. Before we even get into the whole Errol Spence live he did. We want to talk about some other things that's going on in boxing. I want to start off with my man Gary Russell. Salute to the whole DMV. Gary Russell, he finally got a fight, a good fight, man. I like this fight with Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas is what, like 30-0, 36-0. What's Ray Vargas' record?
34-0, 27 knockout. Let me see.
What's Ray Vargas?
Let me see. I think it's 34-0, 24 knockout. No mistake.
Ray Vargas. Let me look it up.
I got you.
Hold on. He is 34-0, 22 knockouts. Yeah, so Gary Russell, he fighting Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas is moving up in weight from 122, right? Ray Vargas is moving up in weight to face Gary Russell for the WBC 126-pound world championship. We all know that Gary Russell he been champ for 6 years now?
Yeah.
I think 6 years now. He's been the WBC champ for 6 years now. And Ray Vargas is moving up to face Gary Russell. Ray Vargas was the WBC champ at 122, right? Ray Vargas was what was that?
Yeah, lost it on the scale. Both of them, him and his opponent this weight.
Yeah, right. So Ray Vargas was the WBC champion at 122, right? I
sent it to your email, Knockout.
Yeah. He moving up. He moving up in weight to face Gary Russell. I think this is a very solid fight. It's not, it wouldn't have been one of the top 3 fights I would have wanted to see for Gary Russell. But look, it's a good fight. It's a solid fight. Like I said, Ray Vargas is 34-0 with 22 knockouts. And another thing, Ray Vargas might be on that shit too. Ray Vargas got popped on PEDs before. So hey, Ray Vargas might be on that shit too when he step in the ring with Gary Russell. But it's a solid fight, man. Ray Vargas is a come forward, throw a million punches around type fighter. So he is gonna try to apply pressure to Gary Russell. How effective that's gonna be, I don't know. But it is gonna be a jam-packed action fight. You can guarantee with Gary Russell's speed and his skills and Ray Vargas's his work rate, this gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a great fight for the fans. And like I said, man, any dude that's 34-0 with 22 knockouts that was a WBC champ, you can't overlook him. You can't overlook him. You dig? Loyal to the game, boxing talk. Kwame East in the building. Carla S. Queen in the building. Who has Ray Vargas beat that's noteworthy? Well, like a lot of other people try to do, I'm not finna sit up here and try to act like I know who he beat, because I don't. But I've seen him fight plenty of times. Now, who he's beat, that's I have to look at his resume. I got it in front of me.
Martin Cabana was a hell of a fighter.
Yeah. His last fight, that the Asian guy that he fought from Japan.
Yeah,
he's a solid fighter. So that's one solid fighter. Kometa is a solid fighter. He beat Oscar Negrete. He was all right at the time, but I mean, I ain't gonna say he was all of that.
Ronnie Rios was a credible opponent.
Ronnie Rios.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of these fighters in the lower weight classes like that, so I'm not finna sit up here and act like I know. But
Gavin McDonald, he beat Gavin McDonald for the title. He was over in the UK. That's when he won the title. He was a hell of a fighter. So he credible. We're not going to sit up here and try to discredit Ray Vargas. Of course, he's not going to fight the big names that you probably know of at 122 because, you know, when you look at the Navarretes and the Dog Bays and things like that, they was coming up. So you can't discredit Ray Vargas like he don't want to smoke. He's still a hell of a fighter. He's still a hell of a competitor, and he's a worthy champion, right? He's a worthy champion, and that's all that matters. And if Gary Russell knock his ass out, he's going to get full credit for that fight. So go ahead, Keith.
And it's crazy, right? Because, you know, Gary Russell, people talk about it because Gary Russell put it out there himself that he wanted to move up to 135 and whatnot, right? But see, we all forget how small Gary Russell really is. Gary Russell only 5'4". Gary Russell doesn't have a wide frame. He said I just posted in the link. I posted in the link for you.
He said thank you.
Yeah. I just posted in the link so he could grab it in the link.
My bad, knockout. Damn, I thought.
Hold on, knockout. I got you right here. Hold on. Damn. There you go. It ain't no open panel, you know. So, you know, Kwame and Draco, y'all always welcome, but you know, it ain't really no open panel like that for everybody else. So,
my bro, Drake, what's going on, Drake?
What's good with you, Draco? My guy. But like I was saying, is that Gary Russell is only 5'4". You know what I'm saying? 5'3", 5'4". He 5'4" at the tallest, right? So and Gary Russell don't have no big frame like that. You dig what I'm saying? He's not no guy with no big frame. Like Tank is a short guy that has a bigger frame. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia got a bigger frame. So Gary Russell going to 135 and 130 and shit like that. If he's in shape, he's walking around probably damn near at that size. You see what I'm saying? Like, think about it. He's 5'4". He got a slim frame. He got fucking abs and shit. He ain't even got to work out to have abs. Like, that's the type of frame that Gary Russell got. So he's not a big guy. So him moving up to 130 and 135, that's a stretch in itself. You dig what I'm saying? That is a stretch. Gary Russell could easily be fighting at 122, right? He could easily be fighting at 122. If anybody disagree that Gary Russell could cut weight, a little bit of weight, and easily fight at 122, the size that he is, let me know if I'm wrong. You know, so, you know, Gary Russell, him being at 126, that's the weight class that he should be in, really. You know what I'm saying? But him talking about going up to 130 and 135 is just solely because none of the top guys will beat him. I mean, none of the top guys will face him, you know, at 126. They was all ducking the smoke. I mean, the man been champion for 6 years. You feel what I'm saying? We seen what Leo Santa Cruz did and all these other fighters, right? So when it comes down to it, a lot of people are going to say, oh, Gary Russell, he's fighting a guy that moved up in weight. Well, that guy that's moving up in weight, he's actually a lot bigger than Gary Russell. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear and try to see people discredit Gary Russell if he go out there and beat the shit out of Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas is a solid opponent that is moving up in weight, but he's a lot bigger than Gary Russell. And that's just what it is. So I'm just glad to be able to see Gary Russell in another fight. It's a solid fight. And, you know, quiet is kept. Gary Russell, his last fights have been all solid fights. You got to think he fought Jojo Diaz. He fought then he came and fought what's the dude Numbayar, King Tug, Numbayar. Those are solid fighters, and King Tug was a big ass motherfucking King Tug is a big 126 pounder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dude is like 5'7" and a half, 5'8". It could easily walk around at, you know, in the high 150 pounds, you know. So however he get down to 126, I don't know, but he does get down to 126. And when he fought Gary Russell, he was towering over Gary Russell. He looked like a giant in the ring with Gary Russell. But what showed me how good, I already knew how great Gary Russell is, but what showed me something about Gary Russell in that fight, y'all, is Gary Russell fought King Tug at his own game. He fought the man in the pocket and banged it out with him. He didn't try to move around and you know, run from the dude. You could tell that the dude was much more stronger and bigger than Gary Russell, but Gary Russell banged it out with him and beat him at his own game. So he showed y'all that, okay, if I need to, I'm gonna let my nuts hang and I'll show you. You know what I'm saying? You're not finna out tough me. And we all knew that Gary Russell can box and got all the skills, but hey, to show that he can bang it out and go toe to toe and fight inside with a guy that was that much bigger than him, that showed me something with Gary Russell. So this Vargas fight is a good solid fight, man, and I'm looking forward to it. They don't have a date in the venue set yet, but that's what it's gonna be. So, you know, I'm glad we're gonna see it. You know, I actually think that the Gary Russell and Vargas fight is a much more solid fight than a lot of these other fighters that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of these other fights that, you know, some of his peers that he's called out got going on. That's just my opinion. And salute to Shabbat Hall off in that super chat. Salute to you. So what's good with it? Knockout in the building. Everybody, make sure that you go subscribe to my man Knockout Boxing 86 TV. If you on Me or Money show, right? If you on Me or Money Brown show, and you seen Knockout be cooking, and you ain't subscribed to his channel yet, you either a hater, or you maybe just ain't, or maybe you just forgot. And if you forgot, I'm here to remind you, go subscribe to Knockout Boxing 86 TV. So Money, go ahead and cook on this.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Key? What up, Money? What up, chat? Thanks for the shout out, Key. I appreciate y'all having me on. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Money. Go ahead, bro. Just want to say what's up to you.
No doubt. But yeah, bro, it's good to see Gary Russell back in the ring, dog. Good to see him back in the ring. And like I say, Key, a credible foe, man. And Ray Vargas, a former world champion. They both was in the WBC ranking. You know what I mean? Just like if Gary wanted to go up and face Miguel Burchett, Ray Vargas want to come up and face Gary Russell. You know what I mean? And like I said, Ray Vargas had problem making weight last time, so it's time for him to move up. Just like he say, he's a big dude, so it's a credible fight. It's very credible, bro. And I respect Ray Vargas for coming up and facing Gary Russell. And like we say, he had his mishaps. He got popped. Nonetheless, you know what I'm saying, did his time. But now, you know, Gary in there with another credible foe, another Mexican that can fight his ass off. And, you know, Gary go out there and whoop his ass, and we go see what it do for his career going forward. But that's the type of things that I like. That, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you can't get the big fights. Get these type of fights. You know what I mean? It been fights like this out there for him that he could have won at. I ain't gonna say it's like the name with Ray Vargas, because, you know, Ray was doing his thing at 122. But it was fights out there that he could have took on, even though he wasn't getting the big fights, to stay relevant, you know what I mean, and stand in people's face. And that's all we want to do, is see Gary stay relevant, because he's a hell of a talent, bro. One hell of a talent that we all like and we respect. Like we say, that he's the longest reigning champion, you know what I mean, in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he do get disrespected by some fans. Yes, he do get disrespected by some fighters, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it ain't going to take away from what you're doing inside that ring. You feel me? we say what we want to say about Triple G. We can say, well, Triple G ain't fought no damn body, and Triple G this and Triple G that, but the motherfucker was busy and he was knocking motherfuckers out and he was getting title defenses, defending his title, and that shit was growing his legacy. And at the end of the day, he got 2 fights with Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? Win, lose, or draw. He got 2 good ass paydays, looking for a third that he ain't gonna get, but he got it, and he continued to stay down. And he bang, 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 bang till he got the fight. And that's all I want to see Gary do. I want to see Devin Haney do the same thing, you know. But with Gary and Ray Vargas, man, it's a hell of a scrap, bro. Ray Vargas can fight his ass off. He ain't just no pushover. He ain't no slouch. You know what I'm saying? He'll come into the ring in shape, ready to go. You feel me? And Gary got to be on this shit, which I know he is. You know what I mean? Go out there, get this victory and move on and continue to press like this. But he said, well, wait, Naoya at 118, Drake. He ain't at 122. That's his third weight class, 118 pounds. He'll be stretching and going to 122. But nonetheless, you know, Gary can do his thing, bro. Take care of this dude and then go out there and see what's next for you. But the thing is to stay busy, bro. Stay busy. And I ain't going to look too far ahead of Ray Vargas, but to stay busy, dog. You feel me? Keep that pattern going, especially at this stage right now, at the age you at right now, bro. Just stay busy, and everything else work itself out, dog. Stay busy, but I do like the fight, kid. It's gonna be one hell of a fight, bro. I got Gary winning this deal. You know what I mean? Arguably by knockout, to be real with you. You know what I mean? Arguably by knockout, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, his hand will be raised, and he will have another title defense under his belt, and then he can move on with his 2021. It's just the early season. Man, Gary should be at least trying to fight 3 times a year this year, bro. He should at least be trying to get him 3 fights in this year.
We've been saying that for the last 7 years.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, like right now, this, you know, he got this fight set up, man. He need to be pushing. He need to be pushing, bro. Like for real, he need to be pushing. Because these young boys, they got time. They got time. They in their early 20s. I mean, and they have fights for as with each other or for as with the older cats that still got some in the gas tank is going out because of their names and they getting their recognition up. So with you, G, man, you need to just stay busy, dog. Stay busy. I like this fight. I want to see how you perform in this fight. Like I said, I got you winning this deal, but I do like Ray Vargas and I do respect Ray Vargas, bro. That's another thing. That is true. That is true. But when you're a professional fighter, dog, when you're a world champion, you've been doing it for a minute, you know how to get yourself together and get yourself in shape. You know what I'm saying? You know how to get yourself together, get yourself in shape. How long has it been since Gary Russell fought? When was his last fight, Keith?
Gary Russell has been about to get shit. I mean, he fight once a year, so it's been a year. Hold on, I'll give you the exact date.
So it's been a little minute for him as well. You know what I mean?
It was August. It was August of last year, money.
August of last year. Okay, so you know that ain't that far, but it's still a nice stretch. Yeah, it's still a nice stretch. So you know, Gary been off for a little bit as well.
Nah, Gary Russell last fought none by King Tug, and that was
I'm reading it wrong, bro. It was February 8th. I'm reading it wrong. It was February 8th.
Out over a year too.
A year and some change. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
because I know he only fight once a year. So
right. So shit, listen. It ain't no excuse for organized shit. Gary been off for a year. You been off for 2. Hey, ring rust is ring rust, baby. Ring rust is ring rust. Both of y'all are world champions. You know what I mean? Both of y'all know what y'all have to do to get prepared for this championship fight. Now, once that bell go ding ding, 2 or 3 rounds, you should have been able to get that shit off. If you ain't not doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? I give you 4 at the max, but you should be able to get that shit off and get ready. Now, the energy and all that shit, that's for you to prepare outside the ring and push that extra mile. You know what I mean? Go that extra round, and because you know your ass been off. But inside that ring, after 4 rounds, you should have the rust off, and it should be muscle memory. That way, it should be ready to go and do what you got to do. You feel me? So I like the fight, bro. It's gonna be interesting. Like I said, credible for, you know, Gary getting all the respect from me if you're going there and knock him out and get the W. A lot of people go try to say who is Ray Vargas and this, that, and that. All that shit don't fly with me. You know what I mean? Don't fly with me. He's a fucking former world champion that's still undefeated. That's coming up trying to conquer another weight class and take food off another man's plate. That's who the fuck he is. You know what I'm saying? But it's a respectable fight, bro. I'm rocking with it. I can't wait to see Gary back in the ring, and we'll see how it play out. Go ahead, my bro. Knockout.
Appreciate it.
I think my daughter in the chat. What's going on, DeJay? She got hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going down?
Yeah. What's going on, baby?
That's a surprise.
Yeah. She throw them hands. When she was boxing, yeah, she had that, man. She very talented. Nitty G, what's good? Salute. Knockout Boxing 80. I'm reading. Knockout. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Knockout.
Oh man. So I like the fight, man. I like the fight for quite a few reasons. Number one, I respect the hell out of Ray Vargas for moving up in weight, and you come to 126 pounds, and your first tune-up, your first shot at 126 pounds is Gary Russell Jr. Shit, you can't do nothing but respect that shit, bro. So mad respect to Ray Vargas for taking on this challenge, for coming up and wanting to challenge Gary Russell for his title, because 126 down, Gary Russell is the kingpin to me. He the man in them lower weight classes. So for you to make that your first fight at 126, I got mad respect for Ray Vargas for doing this. And if he were to somehow pull off the victory, bro, it would be a huge notch on his belt and put him in a position to get big fights in the future. So I can't do nothing but respect him for taking on a challenge like this. For Gary Russell Jr., I like it, bro. I'm tired of these mandatories that we ain't never heard of or don't have a good pedigree. I like the fact that he's fighting a former champion. I like the fact that the person that he's fighting is a veteran, has a ton of experience, but is still young enough to have, be a live fighter and somebody that can challenge him. And I think it's a good notch on his resume to give this dude Ray Vargas his first loss. And I'm all for the fight, bro, because I want Gary Russell, now that you're fighting, I don't want you to don't wait until 2022 to fight, bro. Like, once you make this fight, you need to fight again. It's time for him to start fighting more. I believe he's a young 32 because he only got 32 fights. You feel what I'm saying? He hasn't taken a lot of damage in his career, and he still could be very much in his prime to me. And I'm interested to see how he's going to do against somebody that's 5'10" and a half, because he's 5'4". Obviously, he's a shorter guy, and his feet have been flat to me lately. So I want to see how he gets on the inside, how he deals with the reach, how he overcomes that challenge. And so it's a good test to me, bro. And people acting like you can't be bigger coming from a smaller weight class. It's simple. It's simple biology and science, bro. When you 5'10" and a half, you can carry more weight and be in more shape than somebody that's 5'4", bro. So Vargas can end up being much bigger than Gary Russell come fight night. Kind of similar to, in my opinion, y'all may disagree with it, but to me, when Leo Santa Cruz and Tank Davis fought, Leo Santa Cruz looked much bigger than Tank Davis, in my opinion. He looked like he was a much bigger human being and a much bigger fighter than Gervonta Tank Davis. And I can see Ray Vargas and Gary Russell looking similar in the ring to each other, with Vargas potentially dwarfing him, being cut up, being in shape, and looking like a good fighter. So it's a good test for me for Gary Russell Jr. I think, I'll do a prediction as to get closer to the fight, but obviously I'm going to ride with Gary Russell Jr. in terms of who I'm rooting for. But I like the fight. I just don't want it to be his last fight of 2021, bro. I think this fight should be announced early enough to where it can be in May or June or some shit. And then, bro, fight again, bro. Fight again. Call the dudes out that you want to fight. If they don't fight you, don't all of a sudden get prideful and wait for another mandatory to come up. Try to find you another undefeated fighter that's a former champion, or find you somebody else at 126 that's a top competitor to go get that smoke with, bro. Just go down the line. Keep fighting fights, keep yourself active, and eventually by doing that, you eliminate opponents for your contemporaries, and you allow yourself to be in a position to where they have nowhere to go, bro, to where they have to come see you. And so that's what I want for him, bro. But I'm excited about the fight. I respect the fight. I got nothing negative to say about it, bro.
Yes, sir. Let me get to some of these super chats real quick.
I said 3 times the right shit. We'll be lucky we get 2.
Man. Salute to my man Valentine off in that super chat. He said, just got here. What's up with Errol? Valentine, you ain't missed nothing on the Errol Spence. We gonna start cooking about that. We ain't started on that yet. It's finna get real interesting. And Roxanne off in that super chat. Salute to you. Appreciate you. Salute. KP from KC5 off in the building. Sheena, what's going on with it, Queen? Shady Girl 85. Salute to you, Queen. Hey, World Combat Sports said, she say, there go Dad talking that boxing again. Yeah. World Combat. Now, you know me and World Combat, that's my guy. That's my guy. When it comes to Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, we 100% disagree. But World Combat be talking that shit, man. Y'all think we be talking that shit when it comes to Bud. Man, World Combat be talking that shit when it comes to Errol Spence.
I heard them stories.
I'll say this. World Combat is the furthest from an Errol Spence fan. That's what I'm gonna put it like that. But World Combat, if you're still in the building, if you want to link, later on when we start cooking on this situation, just let me know. You know, I got you. I know World Combat. And everybody go subscribe to World Combat Sports. Everybody go to YouTube and subscribe to World Combat Sports. World Combat just actually, Money, I was actually intending to call you the other night and tell you he had Teofimo Lopez's dad on there the night before last. And man, Teofimo Lopez's dad be on there talking that shit. Hey,
I remember he had him on before though. He always having them on.
Yeah, he had him on there the other night, man. Teofimo Lopez Pops was talking that shit. So everybody go subscribe to World Combat Sports, man. He be putting in that work.
Hey, see another Angel Garcia, bro.
Yeah, he is. Y'all better go show my man some respect for real. And so yeah, World Combat, man. If you want that link, you know what it is. Shabazz Hall says that means Gary got to put himself at a disadvantage to get big fights. Yeah, he really do, and it's sad that he has to do that because all Gary wants. All he really wanted is to be able to fight the top guys in his weight division or maybe one weight division above. But he got to go above and beyond just to get some of these fights. And y'all hit the like button. If you're in the building, make sure that you hit the like button. Let me
go smack that like button 3-4 times real fast.
Yes, sir. But shit. Who else was Gary gonna make a fight against, y'all, that was gonna actually step up and fight him? Josh Warrington didn't want no smoke, and he just got knocked out.
Yeah, he just took an
L. Him and Shakur Stevenson would be a great fight at 130, but Bob Arum ain't gonna make that fight because they got other plans with Shakur for Shakur. Man, you know what, dog? I'm gonna say this, man. And nobody ain't really said this. We've talked about it before, but ain't nobody really said it from this standpoint. Look, man, look how Gary Russell getting treated over there on PBC. Just keep it 100. He ain't getting no fights. He only fighting once a year. What would Gary Russell's career be like if he did leave and go fuck with Top Rank? Because they got a lot of 26-pounders over there. They got some hitters over there. Well, I mean, would he fight more? Would he get more of the big fights if he was fucking with Top Rank?
I mean, I feel like this. There was fights on the table for Gary, man. Gary even mentioned it himself. There was fights on the table for him. They just want the fights that he wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why I was saying, take the fights, whoop they ass, but stay busy. So when people be like, well, Al doing Gary wrong, this, that, and the third. Yes, Al couldn't give him the big fights because look at Earl. Like, he couldn't get Earl the big fight. It ain't that he can matchmake and force them to get into the ring because Al give them freedom to put the fights out there. He put the fights on the table. Okay, this fighter, that fighter, that fighter. They pick the fighter. He can't tell you, well, you know what? I'm Dana White. You got to fight him. Or I'm going to do this. Or Bob Arum. Okay, we got this fight set up for that. Al is starting to say, okay, well, I'm going to advise you. Okay, you don't want to do that? Well, I'm here to get you the most money and the best fights and the guide your career. So when it's over, you got some. But at the same time, still make you a champion. Now, I do understand what you're saying, going over there with Bob Arum, but I don't know if he'll be even bigger than what he is now, right? Not saying Bob can put the fights out there or this fight with that fight, but who knows how Bob would be treating his ass. But my thing is just, especially with Gary being so strong-minded as well, you know what I mean? So it's like you have fights on the table to stay busy. If you just, like I say, if you just stay busy, everything else, in my opinion, will take care of itself. You know what I'm saying? So if you just stay busy right now, it'll come to that point to where, somebody got to fight you. Somebody got to fight you. Like I say with Triple G. Shit, he ain't want to. I mean, Canelo ain't want to fight him, but he stayed busy, and the opportunity presented itself, and he got 2 fights with his ass. So, I mean, we can say it can go this way, go that way by going up to top rank, but who knows how that shit would have played out.
Yeah, and to take that point even further along, money, like let's take this fight into consideration that he just got made with Ray Vargas. The last time Ray Vargas fought was like in July or some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Of like 2019, it says here. He ain't fought in a long ass time. So you just now made this fight. Like you couldn't make this shit sometime last year. Y'all couldn't get together and make this fight, and then you be further along, bro. This would already be behind you, and you could be making another fight this year that could be, you know, longer. So he could have had way more fights, been in a way better position if he stayed busy, like you saying, bro. So that's kind of like just like I'm on the same page with you on that shit, bro. Like stay busy and in these fights that you're having, bro. A lot of these dudes like Vargas been available. He been available, bro. Like, and this is just now happening in 2021. You ain't fought since February of 2020, and he ain't fought since July of like 2019 or some shit, bro. Like, make this shit happen, bro. Make it happen so that you can get your career further along, bro. So you right on with that one, bro, in my opinion. So
yeah, for real. And salute to Sheena. She says Keon's lovely daughter in the chat. Blessings. Appreciate that, Sheena. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Sir Aunt Boy says, who y'all talking about? I'm late. Oh, man, we talking about Gary Russell. We talking about Gary Russell right now. Yeah, we talking about Gary Russell. And man, did you speaking facts? That's straight facts, man. But I just always wondered, like, how would it be if Gary Russell was with Top Rank or somebody, you know? Because let's keep it 100, right? I think that Floyd Mayweather, he has a real problem with Gary Russell. He don't fuck with Gary Russell. It's been they went at it, right? They went at it before. They don't mess with each other. And so it's like we all know that Floyd Mayweather, right? And if you don't know, Floyd Mayweather, he owned a part of the PBC. Like him and Al Heyman work together hand in hand. You see what I'm saying? They work together hand in hand. So that's not a secret. So could it be, right? Could it be that because of the beef that Floyd and Gary Russell got, that Floyd has a hand in holding Gary Russell back? I'm not saying that's what it is, but we don't know. So what if Gary Russell was with Bob Arum? You know, we know that Bob Arum is not good for your career when you get to a certain level, but let's keep it real. And no knock to Gary Russell. Gary Russell's not making $5 and $6 and $7 and $10 million. You know what I'm saying? And so if Gary Russell's over there, because one thing that Bob do is he get his fighters the fights. I mean, I'm not gonna say the fights. I'm gonna say that he keeps his fighters active. If you want Top Rank, if you want to stay active, you stay active. And once you at a certain level, they not no bullshit fights. They solid fights. You dig what I'm saying? They solid fights. Look at Shakur. Shakur already have a solid resume, and he's only getting, you know, his resume is only getting better. Now, one thing is Bob ain't gonna pay you top dollar like PBC, right? He's not gonna pay you top dollar like the PBC, right? But he is going to get you solid, tough fights. As long as you accept the pay that he giving, you gonna fight the best. Now, once you start wanting to, you know, up your pay raise to that high pay, then, you know, you're going to have some problems. But it's like he only fighting once a year, right? So, and I ain't trying to be in Gary's pocket or none, but say he make, what, $2.5 million a fight. Let's just say $2.5 million a fight. You fighting once a year. You go with Bob and say you making $1.5 million a fight, right? But you fighting 3 times a year. 4 times a year, maybe. You know what I'm saying? 3 times, let's say 3 times a year. Add that up. Add it up. So it's like, you know, I don't know, man. It's a crazy situation with my man Gary Russell. But like Money say, shit. And like my man Knockout say, like, you know, he's had fights on the table that he turned down because they're not the fights that he wants. At some point, you got to say, like Money said, man, you got to just run through these dudes and make them give you the fights that you want. You're not doing yourself no justice sitting on the shelf and only fighting once a year. That's it, once a year. We ain't getting a half a fight. We ain't getting that. That's all we getting is one fight a year. That's it. So man, it's crazy. T-Dog Boxing, salute. And I see you in the background, T-Dog, but it's not no open forum like that. It's not an open panel today like that. But anyway, any of y'all got anything to say in closing on that before we move on to the next subject?
Nah, man, just I respect Gary getting this fight. Like my bro, like I said, much respect to Ray Vargas for moving up, bro. When your first fight at 126 is the big dog, you know what I mean? So you got to give him credit on that. And he gonna bring his Mexican fan base, you know what I mean? I want them to promote this fight the right way that it need to be promoted, because it is a former world champion going up against the current world champion, and it's a hell of a fight, bro. So as long as they promote it right, I think the numbers gonna be great. I think the fighting itself gonna be great, and I think we all gonna enjoy it, bro. I think we all going to enjoy it. So after this, we'll just see what's next for Gary. But I do believe Gary will stay active this year. I think he really see what's going on, and he get the point of what being active does. And you don't want to keep missing the train, bro. You don't want to keep missing the train, because pretty soon, like I was saying on my live, we go look up. It's gonna be the next generation time. You feel me? This shit come and goes. It comes and goes. So I think he get it now, and I think he will stay active, bro. So with that being said, it's gonna be a good fight. Everybody tune in. I can't wait to see G back in the ring, bro.
Right. And Sir Ant Boy say, Sir Ant Bo say, Aaron will have the world calling him pound for pound #1. He a legend with that BS. And he would. That's another thing. If Gary was over there with Top Rank, he probably would definitely be on the pound for pound list. He'll definitely be on that. But shit, man, it's crazy, man. One thing Gary is doing, he probably reserving his body. Gary gonna be like 36-1 at 50 years old. Trying
to tell you, bro. Trying to tell you. My only thing I got left on this 4 words. Gary, please stay busy. Shit. That's it.
Yeah. We all love seeing him fight. You know? We love seeing him fight. And Gary, one thing I can say is if Gary had stayed busy, right? And it's an ego thing, man. I fuck with Gary, but it's an ego thing. Just like the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence thing, it's an ego thing with Gary not taking these, fights that they're trying to give him to stay active. It's an ego thing. He's just like, he one of the type of men. He got pride, and he not finna let his pride go for nothing. And I can't knock it, I can't knock it. He a stand-up dude, but hey, it is what it is, man. Hope to see him fight more often, but I doubt it. Anyway, so let's move on. And salute to Kwame East in the building in that super chat. He said, best new YouTube boxing platform. Hit the like button. I appreciate you. And everybody go subscribe to Lord to the Game Boxing Talk. And y'all make sure that you go on Facebook and subscribe to Lord to the Game Boxing Talk 2 on Facebook. Man, it's been going down over there. Y'all been missing. If y'all not on Facebook, right, in the group Lord to the Game Boxing Talk 2, y'all missing a whole bunch of shit that's been going on. And y'all missing, Team Bud Crawford ducking. But that's a whole nother situation we gonna get into. Money say he want all of the smoke.
I want Brain the guard dog. I want Tyrell who talking that little bull crap, and they can bring little baby Crawford with him. He can come with his chain. Bring your chain, baby Crawford.
Hey, man. Blue Blood Sports TV in the building. The king of this thing.
What's going down, Blue? And they can bring too.
Hey, when Blue Blood say the grind don't stop, he ain't just saying that shit. Dog, I'm telling you, if you wake up at 2 a.m, you're going to have a notification from Blue. If you wake up at 3 a.m, you're going to have a notification from Blue. 5 a.m, a notification from Blue. And I asked myself, You know what I'm saying? We talking about when is Errol Spence gonna fight? Bud, when is such and such gonna fight? I'm trying to figure out when does Blue Blood sleep? That man don't sleep. So if you don't support Blue Blood, something is wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? You need to for real, you need to check yourself for real if you're not supporting Blue Blood. But yeah, man, Steven in the building. He say, what he say? He said, y'all be wilding. Mr. Sheldon off in the building. What's good with you, Mr. Sheldon? Mr. Sheldon be over there cooking on I Am Will.
Mr. Sheldon.
I Am Ill Will. I Am Ill Will and Mr. Sheldon, they be over there cooking, man. Yes, sir. He said he on the move, but he listening to the panel. Bumpy Thompson, what's good? Blue Blood say, y'all already know the grind don't stop. Let's be great. I feel you on that, Blue. And we all taking notes and learning from you. D Hodges say, what's good with you, D Hodges? What's happening with it? Yeah. So, man, let's go ahead and move on, y'all. Let's move on, man. Let's talk about Devin Haney. Let's get into Devin Haney real quick, you know.
Man, I'm supposed to talk about Dev last night. I ain't said not one word about this.
I know they got you off your pivot a little bit.
Graham came in there, got talking crazy. You had to drink.
Right.
You got the drinks and everything. And you like, nah, we got to talk, Troy.
Right, bring your ass on.
Hey, you got to, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna do that no more. Hey, but Troy, I gotta give Troy some respect though, man, because Troy will jump on there, man, and take the smoke. He will jump on the panel and take the smoke. Even though he be getting flamed, he'll jump on there. Hey, but man, I had a breath hey. I got him out of his character last night. Hey, that boy was mad.
When you start saying, all right, let me ask you some questions. I was like, I know where this shit is going. I was like, don't even answer, bro. Don't answer. You getting set up.
Hey, come on, man. Just come on and ask the question, man. Just ask the question now, and I'll stop. Yeah, like,
hey, man. Yeah, that was funny though, man. Cause hey, he was really mad, and I was laughing. I was having fun with it, cause I was watching y'all cook the whole time, and I'm laughing and shit. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get on here and flame his ass.
Oh, that was turning his ass up.
Yeah,
trying to be sarcastic, but man, back. And then we got Kwame East, and then we got the Kwame 2.0 in that motherfucker.
Right. Man, y'all was tearing him up. Draco say Devin Haney better stay away from T.O. Man, I'm gonna go another route. Blue Blood say Errol Spence Jr. crazy for this one. Yeah, we finna get into this right after this. We finna get into that whole, get into that right after this. But man, Devin Haney, man, he studded up on him, man. Devin Haney showed, hey, he is getting that bag. Devin Haney get $3 million for Linares fight.
Man.
Hey, that show you that Devin and Bill Haney, they about their business, right? They about their business. Some of these dudes coming up, hey, Terence Crawford, you might need to hire Bill Haney. You might need to go fuck with Bill Haney. Hey, for real, because Bill Haney went and secured that bag for Devin, right? He secured that bag for Devin. And we talking about Linares, right? We're not talking about Gary Russell. We're not talking about no Tank Davis or nothing. We're talking about Jorge Linares. He secured the bag for Linares. Hey, and we got to respect it. All we can do is respect that because you had Teofimo Lopez, and I respect Teo because Teo's a hell of a fighter. So I'm not finna get in who gonna beat who and all of that. But what I am gonna get into is Teofimo Lopez. He was flexing. You know what I'm saying? He was flexing. He's been flexing for a long time. Ever since he got that win against Lomachenko, he was flexing his muscle, talking about basically saying that ain't none of these guys finna make more money than him, right? They ain't on his level. They don't deserve this and they don't deserve that. Well, now, if Devin Haney go out there and whoop on Linares, right, and he got a bag for doing it, $3 million, you ain't above him. You're not above him no more, right? You're not above him no more because, see, what these guys really do is they go off a pay scale, right? So How much you been making per fight, right? How much you been making per fight, this and that. They go off a pay scale. You can't big dog him when they go off a pay scale because you basically making the same thing he making, right? You making what? He making he gonna be making T.O. getting 3.5 mil, right? He get 3, huh?
He got 3.1. That's it.
A 3.1, right?
Yeah, 3.9. Bob get 8, so he got 3.1.
3.1. Okay, so T.O. get 3.1 because you got to give 800,000 to Bob, right? To Sir Bob.
Keep counting down because he got to pay his manager. He
All
got a
of
manager. Then you got taxes. They tax that shit at damn near 40%. So shit.
That's what Bobby Thompson said.
Right. And you got Devin Haney promotion. So you know what I'm saying? He getting his bag. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney promotion. Him and his daddy, whatever they do with the money, that ain't none of my business. How they split the money between, you know what I'm saying? That's family. They keeping it in the family. They getting all of that bread. You know what I'm saying? He getting his bread. So when you break it down, he probably get more than T.O. You know what I'm saying? When you break it all down, so you can't big dog him. So you running around and see it's funny because I fuck with T.O. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Because I fuck with his talent in the ring, right? A lot of the shit that he do outside of the ring, I don't fuck with. But hey, at the end of the day, he's great at promoting himself because we are talking about him because of the shit that he say. So and his pop
and singer, yeah.
Yeah, so I respect the whole Teofimo Lopez team because I see what it is. Even, you know what I'm saying, I see what it is. He's a great promoter, so I fuck with him. But you can't try to big dog Devin Haney no more. You can't, because see, he was kind of pointing the finger like, ha, I'm getting 3 mil, I'm getting 3.5 or 3.1 or whatever, you know. I'm ha. Ain't none of you Devin Haney ain't getting that. He ain't, you know. He can't do that no more. And Devin Haney came and backdoored him and said, ha, I'm getting the same amount you getting, right? I'm getting the same amount you getting. And on top of that, shit, I'm getting it fighting Linares.
Okay, let me say this.
And he said, now top that. He said, now top that.
Because he might put his fighters in the ring and get a paycheck from his fighters as well.
What'd you say?
You know he got fighters. I said his fighters might fight on the undercard. He might get a check off of them as well.
Right. Yes, sir. I don't know what fighters he got on the. I know he got Cunningham under Devin Haney promotion, right?
And he got the other damn, I can't get his name, man. He got about 4 or 5 fighters though, but his 2 main fighters though. Damn, I can't get the other dude name, bro. And I'm sorry, homie, but yeah, they coming. They coming.
Yeah. So I mean, he getting the bag, man. You know, Bill Haney was in the music industry before, so he know how to negotiate. He know how to, you know, that's it. And see, that's the thing. And we gotta, we you know, and I'm gonna salute. I'm gonna give a shout out to Bill Haney and Teofimo Lopez and Teofimo Lopez daddy. Hey, is this Teofimo Lopez Sr.? Hey, what you say? What that dude say?
Hello. Is this Teofimo Lopez Sr.? Who is this? This is Mr. H Money DAZN. I work for Devin Haney Promotion. We're trying to make that fight happen. And you got the wrong number. No, this is you. This is you, Mr. Lopez Sr. I got your number from True School Sports. This is you. Stop. I'm live right now. Stop ducking me. I'm live. Boy, this is such a corny ass, man.
Hey, he just snitched on the dude. He got the number from and everything. Man, that shit be having me damn near crying every time I hear it.
It's emotion.
But we got to give a shout out to both of them fighters and their whole team for basically, you know they come on these platforms. Like you said, Teofimo and his pops, they go fuck with my man World Combat Sports. You know what I'm saying? You got Bill Haney. Bill Haney is on, you know what I'm saying? He come over here, fuck with me. He come fuck with you. He come fuck with he everywhere. He everywhere.
He'll come up with knockout.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he's everywhere, right? So you have to respect it because he is showing they showing respect to their fan base, right? They're not worried about, we need to go on ESPN and Fox because ESPN and Fox are not supporting y'all, right? They not advertising y'all every day. They not talking about y'all every day. They don't have no boxing segments and shit. You got Max on Sport, but he, you know, that come on every now and then, and you know, too many. A lot of people actually don't even watch that. And I'm not knocking it. I like Max, but you know, you have to show them dudes some respect. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it real. If they on some, you know, shit that I ain't agreeing with, I'm gonna let them know. But you know, salute to that team. But yeah, Teofimo, you tried to big dog the man, and it didn't work. What y'all got on that?
Well, I'm gonna say this, bro. I've been saying this from day one. You beat Lomachenko, I give you that win. You just made your big payday with Lomachenko. That was your biggest payday. What I've been saying, Key, Devin been a millionaire. Tank been a millionaire. Ryan Garcia was on his way to being a millionaire. They been getting the bag. They been had the money. You know what I mean? You just start getting the money. And I ain't trying to make it like they just stupid fucking rich like that. But they been stepping to millions of dollars. Tank been a millionaire. Them boys been had millions, right? I've been to Devin. He had his promotion company. He had fighters and shit like that. So they was already at that level. Devin congratulated him when he got the 3.1 with a 3.9 and said, welcome to the multi-millionaire club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been here. You feel me? That 3 was a big fucking statement, bro. And like you say, credit to Bill for doing great fucking business, man. Bill tell you in the check cashing business, right? Bill know how to go through them doors and talk to them motherfuckers. And, you know, we co-promote. We ain't just getting promoted. We co-promote. So you ain't getting all this paper. You know what I'm saying? So that's a smart fucking business move. Smart business move. So that's why I kept saying, bro, you can't be out here talking about, and even with the pops, and shouts out to Scotty for the interview. But if I could have got the talk to the pops, you can't be out here talking about, oh, they just clout chasing my son. No, they not clout chasing your son. You feel me? These dudes got names too, and they've been there. You know what I mean? They bigger than your son if you want to be real about it. You feel me? They bigger. We'll see what this Triller shit do for them and what it do afterwards. But they been getting the paper. Now, credit, I fuck with T.O. Him talking this shit out the Loma, you supposed to. But don't turn into a motherfucking diva. Don't come out here talking about, oh, they haven't done anything to fight me. And then you go fight George Kambosa. You know what I'm saying? So now Devin getting that 3, it shows you what y'all fight can be. Now, I'm not pissed off that you want to get that 3.1 for a motherfucking George Kambosa, but say that. You feel me? Say that. Just call it for what it is. That's why we respect Errol Spence, because he calls shit for what it is. Now, of course, you go talk your shit, mix and match this, that, and all that shit, but don't make it like, oh, well, I'll fight this dude and I sent out this boy a contract and we go wait for this and wait for that. Then we in this motherfucker thinking like, you know, damn, did he send him a contract? But the shit all count. We see your promoter saying one thing and then they saying another. Just say, look, man, I got this motherfucker set up. The money is like this. I just fought 3 tough motherfuckers back to back to back. And we don't know if it's like, I like George Kambosa. He can fight. He ain't the top dog. I thought he lost to Lee Selby. He can fight. And I ain't finna knock him because he got his biggest payday. He got 2.5, if I'm not mistaken. Shit, he got him a big payday. So I ain't finna knock him at all. Shit, they got paid. But say that shit. You feel me? Say that shit. And don't make it like you just head and shoulders above motherfucking Devin Haney, Tank, and Ryan Garcia, because you're not, homie. You're not. You feel me? You're not. Them boys been getting that bag. You feel me? So now just bring your ass back down to earth after you beat this boy ass, because you go beat his ass, in my opinion. Don't knock your big fights, because those are your big money fights. How the fuck you gonna say you want money? You want to get paid the big dollars, and then you shitting on the big money fights. You know what I'm saying? That's who you gonna make your money with, these motherfuckers. Bob Herman's out there saying he wants the 2 names, really, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, you know, and Devin to be third if he can't get those. But everybody know those are your big money fights. You feel me? You talking about going up to 40 to face the winner of fucking Ramirez and Taylor, but they talking about going to 47. So who at 40 gonna pay you like the names we just said? You gonna wait for them to come to 40 to fight them? And you got all the leverage at 135? You gotta be a damn fool. But I respect him, dog. He went and got his money. You know what I mean? We know it's gonna be some shit afterwards. He went and got his money, we ain't gonna knock it. But looking at Dev, dog, Dev went out there and did what he had to do. Salute to him and Bill, man. You know, they secured the bag. You feel me? They secured the bag. That's the first thing first. Like we say, ain't shit happening without the business happening first, right? They secured their paper. and now they go on there and they put on a good performance against Lenore, somebody that's credible. A lot of people ain't gonna like the fight. A lot of people gonna try to tear it down, but it's a credible fight. Go on there and beat his ass, get him out the way, move on to the next. You know what I mean? Hopefully it is somebody that's of some substance that we see that's active and that's popping right now, that's young. Hopefully we can get one of those fights. But right now, your job is to go in there and whoop this boy ass and get the $3 million and move on. But nonetheless, much love to Dale, much love to Bill, man. Continue to do y'all goddamn thing. You feel me? And we go push for y'all, man. We riding for you.
Yes, sir. Knockout.
Yeah, bro. I feel what you're saying. And when I heard this news, my mind automatically went to with the way that I think $3 million is greater than $4 million. And some of y'all might be wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Look, bro, Teofimo Lopez had to burn a lot of bridges to get the bag that he got, bro. He had to piss off his promoter. He had to go to a app in Triller that does not have any fighters for him to fight after this. And for him, it's like a kid talking that shit to their parents when they getting dropped off at school, and your parents is like, okay, I'm gonna see you at 3:30. You gotta come back home. That's what Bob Arum is doing right now, bro. Like, okay, yeah, go get your $4 million. You got that bag. And by all means, Teofimo Lopez, I'm not hating on you, bro. Get your money, $4 million. I'm happy for you. But what comes with that $4 million is a pissed off promoter that's still in charge of a good portion of your career. From all accounts, he has at least a few more fights on you, right? And so if you do want to buy yourself out, whether you try to use a promoter to do it or whether you try to buy yourself out, Bob Arum has been paying you your entire career. You think he don't know to the penny what he can try to charge you to make it damn near impossible for you to buy yourself out of your contract? He has too much power over you. So when I say the $3 million is a better deal for Devin Haney, what I'm saying is Devin Haney, he didn't have to burn bridges to get his money. He's still on good terms with Eddie Hearn. He's still right up under his promoter, making good deals, making good business, and don't have any bridges burnt. A lot of times in big business, when you're talking about M's, bro, and you're talking about billions, in big business, if you want to keep that shit going, relationships is everything. And for all the shit that I talk about Bob Arum, about how he's a liar, how he's a snake, how he don't do fighters right, at the end of the day, he still is one of the most powerful figures in boxing, bro. And he has Teofimo Lopez under contract. And so for that reason, I think the $3 million is a better deal than the $4 million, bro, because of all that shit that I just named that comes with the $4 million. Now we have to worry about what is Teofimo Lopez gonna do now, bro? What is he gonna do after this fight? With Devin Haney, we don't have to worry about that. And guess what? He made $2 million in the fight before this, so he was able to get himself a raise. He was able to get himself a credible opponent. He was able to do good business and keep, his promoter happy, who Eddie Hearn, for all the shit I talk about him. He is another one of these guys that is one of the most powerful figures in boxing right now. So to keep that relationship and be able to get fights and keep your career moving forward without any questions, that's why I like to deal with Devin Haney better. Whereas Teofimo Lopez, we don't know if he's going to get put on the shelf. We don't know if he's going to buy himself out of a contract. Is the Jose Ramirez Josh Taylor fight, the winner of that fight, is that still even on the table for him? Would Bob Arum even want to make that fight? Is Bob Arum going to lowball him every fight moving forward and tell him who he's going to fight? It's a lot of questions that come with that $4 million that he got, bro. And so this ain't me hating on him. This is just me objectively looking at the situation. And if I was in their shoes and you asked me knockout, what would you prefer? I would prefer the $3 million and to keep my relationship solid so I can continue to make money in the future. And that's my take on it, bro.
Good point. Solid point. Solid point. Man, we just gonna see. We gonna see. But at the end of the day, these Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, they need to fight after this. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no more excuses. They need to fight after this. Teofimo, I don't want to hear him making no more excuses because he came out now. And I don't know if he knows something that we don't, but he's very confident that he's going to be able to get out of his contract with Top Rank. I don't know how, but like I said, maybe he knows something we don't. And he's saying that he is going to be out of his contract, right? And he said when he's out of his contract coming up, he says that he ain't going to have no problem making these fights. He says, you know, he'll be able to make these fights with Devin Haney and Tank Davis and whoever else, you know. But we'll see. These dudes, they like to talk. You know what I'm saying? They like to talk a lot when they're in the safe place. You know what I'm saying? They talk a lot in the safe place. But you know, they talk a lot when they're in the safe place, and then you know, but when it come down to it, they do different from what they talk. But we gonna see. We gonna see, man. What's your closing thoughts on this, Money?
Man, just that, you know, Dev knowing what he got to do. I'm with you. Tio and Dev need to fight next. I've been wanting that fight. To my brother Drico, you can say, you know, they haven't beaten the ass that Tio fought, but when we go down in history, and that's for another show, you'll see that Devin Haney was robbed out of 2 fights that could have been proven if he was what he's supposed to be. You feel me? So you can't sit up here and try to play that game. You feel me? You can't play that game. But nonetheless, they need to fight each other afterwards. Devin Haney is the real WBC lightweight champion. If you want to be undisputed, Tio, you got Devin right there. You know it's the truth because you never spoke his name after your fight at the post-fight interview. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations to both of these boys for getting a paper, Tio and Dev. We do know Dev not gonna have no problem afterwards. We do know Tio is gonna have a problem afterwards. He's saying he can get out his contract if you go up that paper. But like I say, Bob Erm is a smart man. He's a smart man, so it ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be easy. But like you say, Keith, maybe you know something that we don't know. We'll see, right? But with the Dev and the Tio, it needs to happen next. It needs to happen next. Like your little tune-up fight that you want to have, Tio, your soft touch, if you want to call it that. Dev going to get Norris. Both of y'all boys getting paper, coming off 2 spectacular wins. Is nothing else better to do but to make it happen. You feel me? But salute to both of them. I wish both of them nothing but the best. Wish Senior and Bill nothing but the best. And we'll see how their career play out in the rest of 2021.
Right. Let me get through some of these Jamboree, my man, Act Reacher off in the building. What's happening with you, Act? Make sure that y'all subscribe to the motherfucking you know what I'm saying? Make sure that y'all go subscribe to Court. You know,
Night Court.
With that Night Court, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit be hard, That shit be hard, bro.
Yeah, to the Jab Jamboree. Make sure that y'all go subscribe to the Jab Jamboree. He might put y'all off in court. Sheena, I enjoyed listening to you. She said I enjoyed listening to you, Terrence and Troy. You got Troy mad as hell last night. Yeah, man, I had that man had him hot. Y'all crazy. Drico Bay say, if Haney whoop Linares, we coming to take that bag. Brooklyn. Hey, Drico Bay, you know what I'm saying? I can't knock him. He's standing for Brooklyn, you know. He gonna ride with his dude. D Hodges say in the building. Let me see who else I didn't get. Let me see who else I missed. Malachi Walker off in the building. What's good? Sylvester 2011. What's happening with it? The real Marlo TV off in the building. What's good with it, Marlo? Marlo over there on that punk ass Xbox, man. Marlo, you need to get on that PlayStation 5 and come get this smoke.
No, you don't, Marlo. You stay on that Xbox.
Hey, Marlo, salute to my man, the real Marlo TV. Y'all make sure that y'all go subscribe to the real Marlo TV. He talking boxing. Hey, Marlo be over there talking that shit too. He talking that big boxing talk. And he you know, if any of y'all into gaming, you know, he do gaming on his channel too. So, you know, he a man of all trades. Bumpy Thompson, what's happening with it? Let me see. Mr. Julio, say Errol Duck. All right. CB Sports TV, what's happening with it? Big CB.
My brother CB was going down, child.
Let me see who else I done missed. Bruce Goals off in the building. What's happening with it? Mike Rhyme off in the building. So here we go. So man, here we go, man. Hold on real quick, y'all. Post this little Cash App. If any of y'all want to donate to the Cash App. So Yeah, man. So, man, money, man. My
Yes,
man
sir.
Errol, he got him mad now. So if y'all ain't see it, Errol Spence, he was on the live. He was on the live with his fiance or his girlfriend. You know, he was on the live and you know what he say? He said, "I'm talking about a 60-40. I'm talking about a 70-30. I'm talking about an 80-20 love." You know, he getting his Teddy Pendergrass on. And y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button, right? He was getting his Teddy Pendergrass on. That's all he was doing. He got on there and he was reading the fans' comments. And he said, you know, 60-40, man, I'm the 64. He said, shit, 70-30. Shit, 80. Okay, you keep on fucking with me. It's
I'm
gonna
an
be
80-20 man, nigga. I'm an 80-20 man, nigga. Don't make me 80-20 man, nigga.
Let's say I'm an 80-20 man, nigga. You keep on fucking with me. And for y'all that haven't seen it, I'll bring it up.
OG Kurt, what's going down, OG?
I'll bring it up, and then we gonna talk about it because a lot of y'all is y'all ain't feeling that. A lot of y'all mad. Even some of his fans is mad over there. But we gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna bring it up real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna find it real quick. Hold on, so y'all can see it if y'all haven't seen it. Yeah, my phone acting up. Okay, here we go. Here it is right here. Let me see. Hey, so you know what I'm saying? He reading the comments and he's playing into the fans and Terence Crawford because a lot of y'all mad, like, oh, you hear what he said? And you know the first thing they do, he said 80-20 now. He said, and he obviously, right? He's trolling. He's trolling the fans. You know what I'm saying? He like, shit, 60-40 guy. Shit, 70-30. All right, y'all keep fucking with me. I might have to 80-20 me a nigga. And you know, he's playing to piss y'all off because see, the thing is he see everything, right? He see the shit that go on in the groups. You know what I'm saying? He see the shit that goes on YouTube. He see it. You know what I'm saying? So what he's doing is he's trolling. He's trolling y'all. You know what I'm saying? He's getting up under y'all skin and he's laughing while y'all get mad and the man laughing at y'all. You know what I'm saying? He fucking with y'all. That's all he doing. You know, and he knows that y'all gonna get mad and you're gonna go back and forth. He's fucking with y'all. And he's fucking with Terence Crawford, right? And he fucking with the whole Crawford family. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? Because I could clearly see that he was fucking with y'all. And now what all of y'all run back and do is you're gonna run back and say, hold on, my bad. All of y'all gonna run back. Oh, you hear what he did? He's ducking. That's all y'all doing now. He's ducking. You hear what he said? He said 80-20 now. Oh, he's ducking. Your man's is ducking. Your man, and they really emotional. Y'all got really emotional off of that. And you know what he's doing? He's doing the same shit I'm doing, is laughing. Because see, I get on Facebook every once in the blue moon. You know what I'm saying? That's really, you know, Money and Kwame and all of them. They do that. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you the smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'm really like to, you know, if you want some smoke, I'll have you come on here. But once in the blue moon, I get on Facebook. You know, and lately, yesterday and today, I was on there. You know, I said, okay, I'm gonna give them what they want. You know, and that ain't really me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really like typing all that shit. I'd rather go on here and get some face-to-face smoke, right? But I said I'll do it, you know, and I just do that shit to get up under their skin, right? I just do it because I be laughing the whole time. I do it to get up under their skin because I know they're emotional about the situation. It's funny. And Errol Spence is getting under y'all skin, and it's actually funny to me. You know what I'm saying? But he's saying, y'all keep on fucking with me, and I might say 80-20. but he playing, he joking. And like I was saying earlier, right? I was telling Terence Crawford Jr. You know what I'm saying? Now I ain't gonna say Terence Crawford Jr. because Terence Crawford might have a son that got a name Terence Crawford Jr. So I ain't gonna go there. But I was telling Terence Crawford, little nephew, little Travion Crawford, that y'all keep on talking about the man ducking and this and that. Y'all have to understand, Bob Arum said it out of his own mouth.
Baby Crawford, Key.
Baby Crawford, okay. Well, he might have a son that they call Baby Crawford, so I ain't gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say that because
that man is Baby Crawford.
I could be disrespectful to his son. If he got a son that's Terence Crawford Jr. or Baby Crawford, they call whatever. But I'm pretty sure they call one of his sons Baby Crawford, but we ain't saying it like that. But anyway,
Beyond yours, Baby Crawford, man.
hey, but at the end of the day, man, like I said, man, is that the fight is not gonna happen, right? Until right, everything opened back up. Bob Arum said this himself, and it's funny because Travion Crawford, we trying to let him know, like, hey, Bob Arum was on Barbershop Conversations and said this, and that. And who the fuck watches Barbershop Conversation? But he a fucking clown. He don't know. Well, we telling you what Bob Arum said on Barbershop Conversations, right? But you get mad at Barbershop Conversations. But you get mad at Fred, talking about he a clown and don't nobody watch Fred, which is a lie, right? You get mad at Fred, but the key word was Bob Arum said, right? So why are you not mad at Bob Arum for coming on these shows and telling it like it is? Bob Arum said that they can't afford to pay both fighters, right, what they want. They're going to ask for too much money, right? They have to wait till everything is back open. When everything is back open, then he could go sit down with Al Heyman and start trying to negotiate a fight. He just said this shit a few weeks ago. Right? So how is somebody ducking? I continue to say, how is a man ducking a fight that can't even be made at this point in time? How can they make a fight, right? How can Errol Spence make a fight with Terence Crawford if Terence Crawford's own boss, right? That's your boss. You have a boss, right? If Terence Crawford's own boss is saying, look, we can't pay these dudes right now until everything open up. So how are they going to negotiate on a fight that can't be made right now? Let me know. How they going to negotiate with a fight that cannot be made right now? M Stack say Bob stays lying. Well, I mean, he's telling you basically when it comes to this subject right here, he's telling you the truth. He's just saying, when he does tell the truth, because he'll say some other shit. He'll try to say that Errol Spence is ducking, but then he'll come back the next day and say, well, we can't even make the fight right now because we can't afford to pay these guys. We need the fans in attendance. We need everything to open back up. Anybody with common sense know that the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fight is the biggest fight. It's the biggest fight in America, right? With two American fighters fighting each other. It's not another fight that's bigger than that, right? Tyson Fury and Wilder, Tyson Fury's from the UK. That is the biggest American fight that can be made, right? To me, now that fight is now well over $100 million fight. It is, because I keep my ear to the streets. I know people that watch boxing. I know people that don't fucking watch boxing. But what they are talking about is, when is that dude Errol Spence finna Terence Crawford? When that gonna be? So when you start hearing that from people that don't watch boxing, that's easily $100+ million fight. But it's not $100+ million fight, and they can't get the capital gain that both fighters want unless they do have a live gate, right? It only makes sense. So when Bob Arum says that, he's making sense. Now that other bullshit he be talking about, it's just what Bob Arum do. Promoters gonna do what a promoter gonna do. But at the end of the day, Errol Spence is trolling. He know that they that they haven't sat down and tried to negotiate no fight, right? And so I say that to say this. If Errol Spence, right, the first thing he said, money, right, that everybody skips over, right? He said 60-40, right, trolling. He said 70-30 trolling. He said 80-20 trolling, right? But the first thing he said, money, right? See, people they use half of their brain and they only hear what they want to hear, right? The first thing that Errol Spence said, he said 60-40, right? Now, if Errol Spence had no intention on trying to negotiate with Terence Crawford and give him 60-40, right? If they do come sit down and start really negotiating, right? If he had no intentions of that, he wouldn't have never let a 60-40 come out of his mouth, right? Y'all only want to talk about what you want to talk about to make him look bad, right? He would have never said 60-40 if that wasn't on the plate, right? So he letting you know, you act right, I give you 60-40, but you keep fucking with me and it might be a 70-30. And you keep on wanting to fuck with me, it might be an 80-20. You feel me? But check this out. I want to let y'all hear something because I had a feeling, right? The other day I recorded this and I had a feeling that this was gonna come up, right? And this is before the Danny Garcia fight, right? For everybody that says that Errol Spence is ducking, that he don't want to fight Terence Crawford, this and that, right? This is before the Danny Garcia fight. Hold on. Let me get to it, and then I'm going to let one of y'all cook.
Shit, I know Bud just he all talk. Who? Bud. Oh yeah, nah, we're gonna fight. If we don't fight this year, we definitely gonna fight this year. Next year for sure. Yeah, we can spend the rest of the weekend at the trip. Yeah, man, you know how it is. Try to get on my shit. Yeah, that shit is gonna help for sure, bro. First, real talk. For sure, next year? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Damn. I ain't true about that shit. What's up with you and Yella? That's my boy, that's my dog.
So,
I seen
y'all hear what he said, right? This is before the Danny Garcia fight. This is, it was during the pandemic time, right before they, a little bit before they announced that he was going to be fighting Danny Garcia next. He said, we going to fight for sure next year, right? He says, when I get on my shit, basically, he was still, recovering and all of that. When I get on my shit, we fighting for sure. And the dude asked him, for sure? He said, yeah, for sure. If not this year, we gonna fight next year for sure. So it is 2021 now. We here next year, right? But we still in the pandemic. But he showed you right there that he wants that fight. Now, on the other end, right? And I'm speaking facts. On the other end, we talk about Terence Crawford, you've never heard Terence Crawford say, right? Well, you have, but within the last year, you haven't heard Terence Crawford say, yeah, I want that's a fight I'm gonna try to make for sure. I'm gonna try to make the Errol Spence fight for sure. You've heard Terence Crawford say, I want Pacquiao. You've heard Terence Crawford say, that fight is not happening. You've heard him come and say again, that fight is not happening. That's all you've heard from him. You've never heard him come out and say, you know what, that's a fight that I want to work on making, for sure. That's a fight that I'm going to try to get done next year for sure. You ain't heard him say that. Right? You've heard him say that, I don't need him. He needs me. I ain't worried about that fight. I don't care about that fight. You've heard him say all these things. If I'm lying, prove to me that he ain't say that I'm lying. Other than that, I'm gonna let y'all cook. That's all I had to say. I'm gonna let y'all cook. Let me see. Sheena say he probably listening right now. Real talk. Loyal to the game. Boxing Talk says they more emotional than Carl Thomas' first album. Hey, man, he was just getting his Teddy Pendergrass on. Zenith 360 says excuse me. I told people Charlo did the same thing about the vaccine, and people were heated and took that shit to heart. I know that Charlo was he was trolling about the vaccine, but Charlo don't want that fight. That's my opinion on it. He's showing that he don't want that fight. But that you can't really compare this situation to that situation. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different situation and whole different circumstances surrounding Charlo and Benavidez that it is with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Let me see. My man, Brandon House off in the building. What's good with it? He say Travion pricing himself out. Travion smart. He a smart kid, man. He don't want he know better. He know better. You know what I'm saying? He know better than come up over here. I told him, and you know, he tried to play that like, oh, you just want me on your channel for views. I said, man, who the fuck is that? Don't nobody know Travion Crawford. I know who Jamal Crawford is. I know who Terence Crawford is. I said, but you know what I'm saying? What views I'm gonna get for you? I said, man, I told him, I called a bluff. I said, man, you pull up a live on your own channel, right? I mean, or Facebook. I said, you go live on Facebook and just add me on there. Cause I'm not finna type back and forth with you all night, right? You go live on Facebook and then we can debate, right? Right on Lord to the Game Boxing Talk, right? On Lord to the Game Boxing Talk 2. You go live on his page and just hit an add button and I'll jump on there if you want some smoke. Hey, KG, Brandon, they know better than that. They know better than that because see, one thing you could do is you cannot you can't deny the facts because they know if you start denying shit, I'm gonna bring receipts. I'm finna bring receipts on your ass, right? And then when them receipts come out, it ain't nothing you can do. M Stacks 85 says, does Spence Ugas have a date? I ain't heard no date yet. I don't think so. They probably behind the scenes. They probably got some know when, you know, what month, but they haven't announced no date yet. Nah. KG says, Twine and Baby Crawford be too sensitive on the social media apps, looking like straight goofballs. Man, but at the end of the day, man, I fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't take none of it serious. You know, I don't take none of it serious, man. And I understand where they coming from, me, because that's their family. So they gonna, you know what I'm saying? That's their family. So they gonna do any and everything they can to, you know, stand their ground and take up for, you know, their family, which they should. So I don't take this shit personal, like I said, but facts is facts. Todd Swindle from that ATL off in the building. He say Spence just having fun. Real talk. M Stack say Cali opened up April 1st. All right. Sheena facts say facts. Errol going to teach Bud a lesson if he keep running his mouth. Hit Bud in the pockets. And Bud better hope he like real talk. And I ain't just saying this shit just to say it. Bud better hope he secure that that Porter fight. Because if he don't secure that Porter fight, that shit gonna look real ugly. Let me see. M Stack says they all giving excuses not to fight both of them. Tank Gang Grip. He said he don't. Mike Rhymes said no matter if things open up, no matter what kind of negotiations they have, it's still not going to be negotiated to a 50-50 split. And that's a fact. You can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna give up my bag, right? That I've earned, right? I didn't earn my position and just give it away just because you telling me to. I'm not finna do that. And everybody that's in the building, hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. Show some respect and hit the like button, right? Y'all hit the like button. And Sheena say that's because Bud doesn't care to become undisputed. He wants to stay in Errol's way like a little kid. She said, she said, I got the belt. You need to reach your goal. Yeah, it could be that. Like shit, I got this belt. You need this belt to reach your goal. Taco K says, tell him to say something, stop talking. Yeah, all right. I guess you didn't hear none of what I just said. But anyway, go ahead, Money. I'm gonna let you cook.
Yep. Listen, they go run with that shit, Key. I'm just waiting to see. I'm just waiting to see. He said 80-20. Now y'all telling me he ain't ducking Bud. Y'all telling me he ain't ducking. He said 80-20. Did y'all hear him? He said, know what? 80-20. Bro, the offense 60-40, man. The offense 60-40. And like I was saying, if Bud don't fight fucking Sean Porter, and if Errol Spence go fight Dennis Ugas, and Errol Spence is victorious, and you get that third scrap, and motherfucker turns Bud Crawford go fight a motherfucking Jose Cito Lopez, or some motherfucker that Bruce Ennis or Virgil T should be fighting for they step up fight. I don't want to hear shit if Errol Spence say 70-30. Now I'm saying I don't want to hear shit, bro, because right now, Terence Crawford in position to get one of the fights that everybody was talking about that nobody wanted to see him with. You can't get a PBC fight, all this shit. Now you ain't got motherfucking Showtime Sean Porter breathing down your neck, right? And you don't want to press your fucking promoter and Bob Earn. Was gonna say some other shit, but your promoter and Bob Earn to keep it respectful. To go out there and make that fight happen, do what the fuck you got to do to get you that fight, knowing what's at stake and knowing what's ahead of you. Now, for the family, right, that's talking the bullshit, that don't want to accept the truth, we taking emotions out of this shit, right? We taking emotions out of this shit. We looking at what both boxers are doing. We calling out the facts, and when we look at it, Terence Crawford ain't doing half of what the fuck Errol Spence is doing. He ain't doing half of the shit. And y'all sit up here and try to deny that Errol Spence don't deserve the fucking largest share of revenue. When we ask him, who been facing the tougher competition? Who been at the weight class the longest? Who's the unified champion? Okay, he got that. Motherfucker, who got the bigger fan base and putting more asses in the seats? They agree to all that shit, but refuse to say the man deserves the largest share of revenue. So when it comes to little baby Crawford and the team, we ain't holding back no feelings or this, that, and all that shit. It ain't personal. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like nobody will come to blows over this shit and nothing like that, or have this thing where you can't talk to a motherfucker, have a conversation. But when they want to get, throw shots and shots and shots, and we blocking that shit and dunking on their motherfucking ass, you know what I'm saying? They got to come back with some facts and not their feelings, because that's what they be coming back with, feelings. You know what I mean? Nothing but feelings. Just like the fans doing, coming back with nothing but feelings. Like I say, inside the ring, I don't give a fuck if you got Bud knocking Earl out in the second round. You feel me? You can say go stump Earl ass. Earl can't fuck with him on this, that, and all that shit. That's your opinion on the fight. I'm not going to tell you how you look at the fight or how the fight go. But when it comes to the business side, right, how we just talking about Teofimo and Devin Haney handling their business, getting their bread, right? This shit ain't close with Errol Spence, dog. This shit ain't close. And we looking at this shit and we looking at the numbers, and when we call out the facts, they want to call you all these motherfucking names and all this bullshit, and they want to run. And they want to get back on the other bullshit. But, Earl was having fun, man, when he came out talking about 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, chilling with his girl. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, bro, the dude not leaving 147 without fighting Terence Crawford. That's what I feel. That's what I've been feeling. That's what I'm continuing to say until he proves me different. He ain't leaving the division without fighting that man, bro. He's not. But we'll have to let that little ego go. Whatever you feeling in the inside, you have to let that shit go and take it out in the ring, bro. Because that man deserves, like I say, even if you do beat Sean Porter and he got the third scrap, that's why I say keep that bitch at 60-40. You know what I mean? I think beating Sean Porter does enough to say, okay, keep it at 60-40, bro. Because I feel like Sean Porter, in my opinion, I still feel like Sean Porter will defeat Ugas. I feel like Keith Thurman and Terence Crawford to beat him. You know what I mean? But Earl got the opportunity to fight him, and you can't knock his position. But with that being said, Bud, you got to fight some goddamn body, bro. You got to fight somebody. That man can't keep doing all the heavy lifting. Then you get to sit back and just reap all the benefits. Oh, I ain't got to do shit but fight this fighter, that fighter, and I get to reap all the benefits. It don't work like that, bro. Like Earl say, my babies can't eat off no motherfucking belts. You know what I mean? Belts ain't feeding my damn kids. So when you look at the situation, dog, that man deserves what he asking for. A lot of people try to beat around the bush. We can't tell him what to accept. Right? We can't tell him what to accept. But you can't tell Errol Spence what the fuck to accept neither, bro. They quick to say, oh, well, we can't say Bud don't deserve 50-50 or this, that, and all that shit. But then when it comes to Earl, man, he needs to just take the 50-50 and fight, bro. He ain't doing too much more, but y'all quick to tell Earl what to do, but you motherfuckers won't tell Bud to accept the 40%. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to the come down, dog, Errol Spence is the number one fighter at the welterweight division. Errol Spence is back on his shit. You can see it, him chilling with his girl, how he talking and shit like that. The man ain't fit to take a step back when he know you work your ass off to deserve something. You feel me? The man deserves it. Like this, it's crazy. Like it's common sense, bro. Like I said, we take Errol Spence and turns Bud Crawford name away and replace it with two other names. I promise you, dog. The person with Errol Spence's name, they want to say he deserved the fucking 60-40. He the number one welterweight. But just because it's Earl and people got a disdain for Errol Spence and his fan base, right? That's when they come up and they talk that bullshit. Like my man said last night, who's a Turnbull Crawford fan, it's just Errol Spence haters. It ain't that they really fuck with Turnbull Crawford. They just Errol Spence haters. You feel me? Same motherfuckers that's talking all that shit ain't even buying a man pay-per-view. Probably ain't even watching them fight on the time he fight. You know what I'm saying? So they can miss us with the bullshit, bro. I like the offer of 60-40. We go get this fight, in my opinion. I still feel like it's going to happen. It was probably happening at the end of the year. Who knows what's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? But it's going to take for Terrence Bud and this team and this family, you know what I mean? And the crazy ass fan fanatics, because we are Terrence Bud Crawford fans, the crazy ass fanatics to pipe their ass down, right? Accept the facts, because they know the facts. They know these are the facts. They just don't want to accept it. You feel me? They just don't want to accept it. So accept the facts, man, and let's move ahead with this goddamn fight. That's only how we go get this fight, bro. If y'all accept the facts and y'all start saying, you know what, Bud, you deserve the 40%, or Errol Spence deserve, you know, the largest share of the revenue, whatever. If it's a 5% or a 10%, you know what I'm saying? He deserved the largest share of the revenue. It ain't a 50-50 fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we'll see how it play out. Key Earl got to secure the fight with Ugas, beat him. Bud got to secure the fight with Porter. Nobody else but Sean Porter. Beat him, and then we'll see what they do when they come to the table, bro. But right now, as we speak, Errol Spence is the A side. The man deserves the 60-40, and that's being generous, bro. But go ahead, knockout.
And yeah, knockout. And I want you to answer this for me, and you know, and y'all can answer it in the chat for the ones that disagree, right? Terence Crawford and his whole family, they say that they're gonna knock out Errol Spence. Is an easy fight, right? They've been saying that, right? Am I wrong or right, Money? That it's an easy fight.
Yeah.
They've been saying it's an easy fight, right? You know, Amir Khan was an easy fight. So you was cool with letting Amir Khan make more money than you. If Errol Spence is an easy fight, why is it so hard to take the 60-40? I don't understand that. But go ahead, knockout.
Knockout. Before you go, let me say this, bro, and I'm sorry. M-Stacks. What you mean, why Ugas? Because Ugas is a top 10 fucking welterweight. Ugas have a scrap. Ugas is on the PBC side. You feel me? And we know Bud and Earl ain't coming to no conclusion for a fucking fight right now. So you don't sit around and wait for no goddamn body. That's the reason why. Ugas ain't talking about it's a 50-50 fight neither. That's the reason why. Ugas understand what Errol Spence has done. He understand he's the A side, and he respect that shit. That's the reason why. So stop playing semantics, man.
Bro, I just explained to you what Bob Arum said. So if they can't make no fight right now between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, why would he sit around and why would he fight Ugas? I mean, just so he's supposed to sit around and just wait to next year to be able to make a fight with Terence Crawford? I mean, it don't make no sense. What else he supposed to do? I mean, Ugas got the belt. I would much rather like seeing him fighting Keith Thurman, right? You know what I'm saying? Why they can't make a fight with Terence, with Bud Crawford? I would much rather it be Keith Thurman, but Ugas has the belt, so it make more sense if you're trying to become undisputed. You dig what I'm saying? It make a lot more sense.
And Keith, go ahead, knock out. And Ugas is a fucking top motherfucking 6-7 welterweight. So we're not gonna sit up here and make it like Ugas ain't credible. Ugas is very credible. Y'all ain't money and make it like he ain't credible.
Money. Remember before, right? The same people, right? Before the same people was saying that Errol Spence was scared and he was ducking Ugas, right?
Right,
it's
bro.
The same people that was saying Errol Spence is scared and he was ducking Ugas, right? But these same people now, Ugas ain't shit. Why is he fighting Ugas? That's a shit fight. That's a trash fight. Ugas? Who is Ugas? What has Ugas done? But before, Errol Spence was scared and ducking Ugas. Y'all need to get your shit right. Y'all need to get together and hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, right? Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you get all of the notifications if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Knockout Boxing. Go ahead and cook, man. My bad.
Nah, bro, you good. So man, I got a lot on this, and this is part of the reason. Like, I got a love-hate relationship with this topic because sometimes I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like I'm being trolled because I don't understand sometimes how logic can escape people the way that it escapes some people on this particular topic. So first of all, I'll touch on the video. I can tell that Errol Spence was trolling. I could tell that Errol Spence was joking around and messing with fans and just having fun, bro. And if you can't tell that, then I suggest you look at the video, look at it. I'm trying to be respectful about this. Look at it and really pay attention to what he's doing. If you can't tell that he's just playing, then that's on you. I'm not gonna sit here and try to explain that to you. That's the first thing. I've seen a lot of people in the chat saying, why hasn't Errol Spence sent a contract to Terence Crawford? When you're doing big business, bro, not just in boxing, period. When you're doing big business like these guys are doing for, again, millions of dollars, the contract is usually sent when most of the shit is already agreed to, bro. So they're not going to send a contract. Nobody's going to send a contract when they can't even agree on something as basic as the money that they're both getting. So it makes no sense for Errol Spence to pay lawyers and pay his team to draw up a contract to send over to Terence Crawford that Terence Crawford has publicly said, I'm not going for that shit. So that's why a contract hasn't been sent, bro. That's on the whole contract thing, man. And people are saying they want this fight right now, right? So is Errol Spence supposed to not fight? Is Terence Crawford supposed to not fight while all this is going on? Like, they're not agreeing right now, y'all. So the one fighter, Errol Spence, is like, okay, yeah, bro, I want Terence Crawford. I want that fight, but my career goes on. So I'm still going to chase greatness. While another fighter in Terence Crawford, he just wants to fight Errol Spence, or he's been fighting people that are not up to par, in my opinion. I feel like the Sean Porter fight is a step in the right direction for him, bro. It is by far the best fight that he can make right now, not named Errol Spence. As far as the pay-per-view split, bro, it baffles me how you can look at the situation and not be objective about it, bro. Like, Errol Spence has been on pay-per-view 3 consecutive times. He's going to be on pay-per-view again in his next fight, whether or not he fights Ugas or whether or not he fights Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford had to get taken off of pay-per-view, bro, because he doesn't make money, people. He doesn't bring money to the table. And at the end of the day, when you make these big fights, it's about the revenue that you generate, bro. It is about how much money that fight is going to generate so that everybody can get a piece of that pie. And if you bring more to the table, you get more, bro. And I don't even have to break down the numbers. All you need to know is that Terence Crawford fights on regular TV, Errol Spence fights on pay-per-view. That's who the A side is. And so if you come with that logic, if you really want this fight, what you should be doing, if you're a Terence Crawford fan, what you should be doing if you want this fight is you should be telling Terence Crawford, look, bro, I don't know if it's 40%. I don't know if you can negotiate to get 42%. I don't know if you can negotiate to get 45%. But you are clearly not supposed to get as much money or as much pay-per-view split as Errol Spence because the business just doesn't make sense. You are the B side, bro. He has been a pay-per-view fighter. You need him to be on pay-per-view. You would need someone like Sean Porter for Bob Arum to consider you being on pay-per-view. You would need a Manny Pacquiao for someone to consider you being on pay-per-view. Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao don't need you, bro. So it's very, very simple to me. And so for everybody that's saying they want the fight right now, for everybody that's saying Errol Spence is ducking, are you also telling Terence Crawford to be realistic? For everyone that's riding him so hard, instead of telling him that he's correct all the time, instead of telling him that, hey, yeah, bud, you the man, you can do no wrong, all that shit. It's like people that cheer for him or people that know him or that are in his corner, they don't tell him the truth. And you can tell in how arrogant he acts, how easy he gets his feelings hurt, and how he doesn't understand the business side of the sport that he is in, bro. And that shit baffles me with his fans. It baffles me with people that are around him. And it baffles me with Terence Crawford himself. One of the biggest problems I have with him, bro, is I love him inside the ring, but I don't understand the energy towards other black fighters that he don't have for Bob Arum, bro. Bob Arum has ruined this man's career. Oh, but knockout boxing, he gets $4 million guaranteed a year, and Bob Arum got to pay him if he don't get the big fights for him, bro. So what? You know how much money he could be making if not for Bob Arum, bro? You know how big he could be if not for Bob Arum, bro? Bob Arum is ruining this man's career, but yet and still, Terence Crawford will not go at him the way that he goes at other people, bro. The shit baffles me. Even if you sign to him, bro, come at his neck on Twitter the way you come after Errol Spence when he ain't even talking about you, bro. Tell Bob Arum, look, man, give Sean Porter what he's worth. I want that fight. I need that fight on my resume so I can build my shit. Pay Danny Garcia more than you fucking paying Amir Khan. Pay him more. He deserves more, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like, stop with this bullshit of thinking that you right all the time and address the people that are really hurting your career, bro. It's your fans that ain't buying your pay-per-view. You selling 75,000, selling 150,000. You add both of yours up, I go pick any one of Errol Spence's pay-per-views, and guess what? Every last one of them sold more than your ass, bro. Straight like that. And so I'm just not with Terence Crawford right now. And so I hate talking about it, bro, because I want to see the fight happen. But I just don't understand, like, where the logic goes with people sometimes, man. Like, the logical thing we should be doing is we should be telling Terence Crawford, look, bro, take the money, bro. It's going to be more money than what you have ever gotten. And if you are as confident as you say you are, and you're going to beat the shit out of Errol Spence, if you as confident as you say you are, guess what happens if you beat the shit out of him, Terence Crawford? You get a damn rematch, bro. And then you get to make even more money because now you can say, I got 4 belts. I'm undisputed. I'm the A side. I gave you 60-40 the first time. You give me 60-40 this time. And guess what the second fight is going to do? We're going to want to see Errol Spence bounce back. Terence Crawford fans are going to be like, shit, he going to beat his ass again. And the shit going to sell even more if you Terence Crawford. So in the grand scheme of things, you could end up making millions more than Errol Spence if you play your cards right and if you really that dog that you say you are. If you really that undisputed pound-for-pound king that can beat everybody ass at 147 that you say you are, you take the less money because it's still shit is going to be more than the $4 million you've been getting. It's going to get you more respect on your resume than you've been getting. It's going to be bigger for your legacy than anything that you ever done. So all of those shits are W's for you, bro. All of those shits are huge wins for you, bro. And then Zenith just said it too, shit. And if the second fight is good, guess what we get? A third fight, bro. A third fight. So I don't understand what we are talking about with some of y'all, bro. Like, if you a Terence Crawford fan, you go in his social media, you go to everybody that know him, and y'all tell him he tripping. Tell him to take the fight. Tell him, shit, at least call Errol Spence's bluff at this point. Look, bro, you said 60-40. When you get done with whatever the hell you're doing, I accept that shit. What's popping? And see what Errol Spence do. And I guarantee you, I will go on any panel. I will make videos about it. And I say, yo, Errol, he said he take that shit. What you gonna do? Cause shit, now he ready to play ball. What you gonna do, Errol? So the energy will change. It's gonna be the same for all of these fighters. But in this situation right here, this ain't me being a fanboy. This ain't me riding nobody nuts or nothing like that. Cause I don't get down like that. These are just facts, bro. These are just bottom line facts. Terence Crawford is tripping right now. And if the fight don't get made, it's going to be A, because of Bob Arum, or B, it's going to be because of Terence Crawford's pride, bro. He needs to swallow his pride. And that's the bottom line for me, bro.
Right, man. You was over there cutting up. Knockout. And y'all hit the like button. Make sure if you in the building, it don't matter if you agree or disagree, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you punch on the like button. Now,
I see y'all saying my man Knockout was cooking. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel, man.
Yeah, subscribe. Knockout. Drop your link in the chat. Everybody, make sure that you go subscribe to Knockout Boxing 86 TV right here on YouTube. right? He gonna put his link in the chat. All you got to do is click on the link and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon. He putting it down. He putting in work every day, all day. Now, I got something to address. If y'all can read this, Luland, I don't know, Luland, all right? You see this. He says, stop making excuses for Errol. Didn't Hearn fight everybody like Duran fought everybody, like Robinson fought everybody? Stop capping for that nigga. Now, I want to drop a link because I want you to come off in the building, right? Because you talking about we capping for Errol Spence and Duran and Robinson and Hearns and everybody fought everybody, right? Who the fuck has Terence Crawford fought? Now, I want you to come on here and explain what you just said, right? So put if you still right here, if you want some smoke, just type a 1 in the comment and I'll drop the link for you. Drop a 1, just type a 1 in the comment section if you want some smoke and I'll drop the link for you because I just want you to explain what you just said. And shit crazy. It's crazy, man. Terence Crawford's backup is against the wall because Errol Spence, he fighting everybody, dog. He fighting everybody. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna continue to fight everybody. It ain't him that needs to be fighting the top level guys. I don't know if you've been in a cave. I don't know if you've been in the penitentiary and you just getting out. But it's not Errol Spence that needs to be fighting the top level guys. It's Terence Crawford that needs to be fighting the top level guys. And if you want to keep it 100, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with Bud. Me personally, I think that Bud Crawford has the best offensive arsenal at 147. I think that he has the best offensive arsenal. His offense is he got a great offense. So I think that Bud has the advantage if we just talk about straight offense. Yeah, but all around I got EJ. But that's besides the point. We talking about facts. We can talk about who wins and who don't win in the ring when we get to that point. But right now, let's talk about these facts and what's going on. Now, if you want to talk about who fight who and who ain't fought who and who doing what, you don't want to get in that argument with me. You really don't. Because if you want to keep it 100, Bud has he has a weak resume at 135. And his resume ain't that strong at 140 neither. And we all know what his resume looked like at 147. And these is facts. Oh, he won his first title by beating Ricky Burns. He went over there in the UK, but Ricky Burns had already been beat by 2 guys. And we talked about this last night. When Terence Crawford beat Ricky Burns for his first championship, Ricky Burns had already got beat by 2 guys we ain't never heard of before, right? When he won his second title against Delorme already had got slept, right? And we went on to see what Delorme did after that. When he beat what's his name? When he beat the Victor Postal. Victor Postal was solid. But Victor Postal hadn't done too much in his career when he fought Terence Crawford. All Victor Postal had did was beat Lucas Matisse that already had been beat several times in his career. It was just coming off a loss to Danny Garcia. But y'all say Danny Garcia is trash. This is the thing that get me, right? You will say Danny Garcia is trash and Danny Garcia he lose to every step up opponent he get, right? But you was praising and acting like Victor Postal was the king of all kings after Terence Crawford beat him. When you talk about who Terence Crawford beat at 140, the first thing they do is bring up Victor Postal, right? But then them same people that bring up Victor Postal and talk about, well, Terence Crawford beat Victor Postal, this, and that, right? They don't talk about that Victor Postal is only accolade up to beating Terence Crawford is because he beat Lucas Matisse, right? That's why they praising Victor Postol because he beat Lucas Matisse. But you seem to forget that Danny Garcia already had beat Lucas Matisse, the same Danny Garcia that you said wasn't shit. So if Danny Garcia wasn't shit, how's Lucas Matisse some shit, right? So, I mean, make it make sense. And then, right, after Lucas Matisse, after Terence Crawford beat your boy, Victor Postol, right? Victor Postol went on the next fight and lost to Josh Taylor. And Josh Taylor only had about 11 fights at that time. So, tell me what Terence Crawford really was doing. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing, right? He wouldn't beat no world beaters, right? Then, shit, I mean, he became undisputed by beating Ndongo, right? The very next fight, Ndongo fought my man Regis Prograis, and Regis stopped him faster than what Terence did. Now, am I saying that Regis is better than Terence? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just letting y'all know the type of the guys that he had to fight to get his accolades that y'all talking about. See, I don't even like doing this because when I do this, it sounds like I'm hating on Bud, but I got to spit the facts because y'all be on some bullshit, right? When we get this, because see, in these boxing groups, y'all been trying to act like that Bud Crawford has the same, basically his resume is on the same level as Errol Spence's resume or better, and it's not. You cannot compare his resume to Errol Spence's resume and say that they're on the same level because they're not. When it comes to resume, Errol Spence has a much better resume. Yeah, Terence Crawford has accolades at 135 and 140, right? But Sean Porter would have ran through all them dudes. Keith Thurman would have ran through all them dudes. Danny Garcia would have ran through all them dudes. The only fight that Danny Garcia would have had a little bit of problem with is Victor Postol, right? And I think he would have beat Victor Postol.
I think Mikey Garcia would have ran through all of them.
Mikey Garcia would have beat all them dudes. So stop trying to act, well, Buzz accolades. Yeah, he did what he was supposed to do. Because, right, if y'all are so fascinated about Buzz accolades and who he beat at 135 and 140, well, that means that Bud must not be that good. Because if you as good as Bud is, and if you as good as we think that Bud is, who he beat is not impressive. If you have the talent that Bud Crawford has, and you got the resume and face the opponents that he had to face at 135 and 140, that shit is not impressive. None of that shit impresses me because I look at Bud on a higher standard than that, right? Ain't none of them guys that he beat surprise me. Look at and then y'all talking about, oh, well, he beat Gamboa. Man, what did Gamboa go on to do in his career after he got beat by Bud? Nothing. Gamboa was like 5 inches shorter than Bud Crawford, coming off a 1.5 year layoff and moving up in weight. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. Quit fucking with me. Quit playing with me when it comes to this shit. For real. Because, I mean, I can really go and break down his resume some more. We want to talk about Derry John? Do we want to talk about Hank Lundy? I mean, I fuck with Hank, but I mean, shit.
Derry John that lost to Lamar Peterson with Errol Spence beat.
You know what I'm saying? Come on. You don't want to do this. And then they say, well, he beat Felix Diaz.
Felix Diaz lost to Lamar Peterson.
2 or 3 more opponents right after Terence Crawford beat Felix Diaz. 2 or 3 more opponents came, backdoored him, and did the same thing, right?
The same
Felix Diaz was about done by the time that Terence Crawford fought him. That's what that lets you know. See, when I go by resumes, I look at you saying, okay, this man might be a fucking champion. He might he might have a belt. We know that belts don't mean too much, right? He might have a belt. He might have went and got a vacant title, right? Or so that means that he could have fought a bum. He could have fought a nobody. A lot of these dudes look at Charles Martin. That motherfucker had a belt. At the time, was he one of the best heavyweights? Hell no. You know, a lot of these dudes get belts. So I look at If they had a belt, okay, who did they beat to get the belt, right? Who did they fight, right? That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at and then I'm looking at who you fought. Who's you fought? So if you fought them, who did they fight? You're not finna pull the wool over my eye and fucking, you know what I'm saying, trick me. Trick me, because I look at all of that shit because money know me and him that had debates because I am a resume guy. So you can't just tell me, oh, well, he was a champion. He was a champion. Okay, well, who he beat? I want to know who did he beat to become a champion. Now, when we talk about Sean Porter, we know the guys that he's fought and beat. When we talk about Danny Garcia, we know what he's done in his career, right? When we talk about Kell Brook, we know who Kell Brook has beat. When we talk about Lamont Peterson, we know what Lamont Peterson has done in his career. So miss me with that bullshit, right? So if you want to say anything, they'll always go back to, well, he fought he fought Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was some straight bullshit. Jeff Horn was some shit. Me and Money went and watched because me and Money was talking about this. I said, Money, I want you to just let's watch this fight together, and let me know if you see what I see with Jeff Horn, right? So we went back and watched the Jeff Horn and Terence Crawford fight. Am I lying, Money?
Yeah.
And we both was fucking crying, laughing because Jeff Horn looked so goddamn pitiful. His footwork is just trash. I could go right now and go to the gym and pull a 12-year-old kid out the gym that looks better than Jeff Horn in the ring. He looked like some straight trash. You know what I'm saying? And he lost to Manny Pacquiao. So, I mean, if y'all want to, oh, well, he beat Jeff Horn to become champion. He moved up. He was supposed to move up and beat Jeff Horn. Look at the motherfucking betting odds. Ain't nobody in their right mind had Jeff Horn beating Terence Crawford when he moved up. So this is not to knock what Terence Crawford has done. So
man, I want to let her feel these little Bud fanatics on and see if they can handle the smoke.
I ain't even want to interrupt you, but I'm like, bro, y'all riding heavy. Y'all.
Yeah, let them ride, and they can get on. I'm gonna just say this.
I can get on. I'm gonna
just say this. Right? And I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. But I'm gonna say this. This is not to talk shit about Bud Crawford or downplay what he's done in his career. All I'm saying is that what he's done, right, as far as the resume that he has, the standard that I hold him on, because I think he's a great fighter. So when you fighting the type of opponents that he's fighting and he's beating, it's not impressing me because I look for him to beat them type of opponents, right? If he goes out and beat a Sean Porter, that's going to impress me. If he could beat Errol Spence, that will impress me, right? If he can move up and beat Jermell Charlo, that shit going to impress the fuck out of me, right? So what he's doing, he's supposed to be doing. And all I got to say is look at the odds, the betting odds, right? Look at the betting odds. Go back and look at the betting odds with all the fights that he's been in, right? Maybe except for the Gamboa fight because he was still kind of unknown then, right? Look at all the betting odds, and that'll tell you that he was just doing what he was supposed to be doing. And I'm done. Money. What you got? I see Money dropped it. He dropped the link in the chat.
Yeah, I dropped the link.
I'll back home and I'll drop the link in the chat.
Y'all get on.
So you get on and get your ass cooked if you want to.
Yeah, so now because they come down there and they talking bullshit tomorrow, it's the same.
I'm gonna let Money cook you because I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna sit back and
so bring your ass on. So y'all heard y'all talking about we can do the same for Errol Spence. Y'all talking about what has Danny and Mikey done at 147. The thing is this: we all know Mikey and Danny is one hell of a fighters. We all know Danny came, right? Danny came and became world champion at 147. You can't take that away from him. As much as you want to try, you can't take it away from him. Danny fought top competition, Sean Porter, motherfucking Keith Thurman, right? You can't take that away from him. Two hell of a fights. You feel me? No manager or management will get this. What? Yeah, Johnny Wins, you better stay your ass over there in the chat. But y'all say what has he done? Right? Came up, fought 2 motherfucking top 5 welterweights, and could arguably won both of them. You know what I'm saying? Both of the fights was close, right? So he earned his dues. He earned his respect. Mikey Garcia was a 4-division world champion. Top 5 on the motherfucking pound for pound list. Nobody was trying to fight Errol Spence at the time. Bud Crawford and Errol Spence wasn't gonna happen. They just fucking signed Bud. ESPN won't let him come over to no fucking PBC side. Cut that stupid shit out. The fight ain't near what it is now when he first came up to 147. So Mikey Garcia had a big ass fucking name. You feel me? And what him and Earl did on pay-per-view, it showed. It showed. So y'all can sit up here and try all you want to. Try all you want to. Now, like I said, this ain't to knock Terence Bud Crawford. We have respect for Terence Bud Crawford. We fucking rock with Terence Bud Crawford. We actually buy Terence Bud Crawford pay-per-views, unlike a lot of you motherfuckers that's acting like y'all ride for Bud Crawford. The only reason why we do this type of thing is because sometimes simple-minded motherfuckers don't want to accept the facts that Errol Spence is the number 1 welterweight. So if they don't want to accept the facts that he's the number 1 welterweight, and they want to try to kill a man's resume on what he done, and they put more ass in the seats, then that's when you take the feelings out of this shit, right? And that's when you start calling shit down by the facts, and you put it out there by the numbers, and you let the people see. Now, when you put out the facts, people start talking about, oh, you haters, right? Or you fanboys, or this don't mean that, or that don't mean this. Because a lot of y'all motherfuckers keep talking about what Bud did, bringing up the past. Oh, he's a former undisputed champion. Okay, he's a former undisputed champion. Then we say, okay, when he fought at 140, and Dago was unified just like he was unified, why Dago didn't get 50-50? Oh, well, because of no, why didn't he get 50-50? Right? Then y'all want to say, well, he did this. Okay, at 147, he was still the former undisputed champion. He was a 3-division world champion and the current WBO champion. Why him and American didn't fucking sell how it was supposed to sell? You know what I'm saying? So what has it done for his career, and what has it done for his fan base of putting asses in the seats? Nothing. Heard nothing. So it shows right there, accolades do not translate to dollars. If that's the case, Manny Pacquiao was an 8-division world champion. Why that motherfucker didn't get 50-50 against Floyd Mayweather? So y'all better quit playing semantics and playing with motherfuckers who really do this boxing shit, bro. It's not going to fly. It's not going to fly. You feel me? So keep on trying, right? And who is this we got in the building?
So we got my man. We got my man D Gray in the building, throwing the towel boxing. My man D Gray.
How y'all feeling, man? It's an honor, pleasure. It's an honor and a pleasure. I just want to try my best to try.
My bad, D. And when we got Kwame in the building, you know we got Kwame in the building too.
I didn't even see Kwame.
Yes, sir. What's up, Kwame? What's up, brother?
Man, you know how I do, man. I just slid in and out like a smooth criminal, man. That's all.
Yep. The one thing with Bud, man, because we all want to fight, but I think this is the leg I could stand on for Bud. That when it comes to the two that they can make together, neither, it ain't about nobody needing nobody, but it's an opportunity for both of them to do something really special. There's nobody out there that has what Bud has as far as the accolades that people want. Undefeated, 8 knockouts in a row, overweight division. He's going to make more money with Bud than he would with anybody at 147. And I just hope that can give them the room to say, hey, man, we can do something special together that neither one of them can go away from each other and make that kind of money. Our key to level of it's $100 million fight. I personally don't think that it would do over 700,000, me myself, because Terence does not sell. How does Spence make up for all that money? But if it is $100 million fight, maybe they could do something where they look, motherfucker, 60-40. If it go over 800,000, you get him the nickel. Something along those lines. So I just wanted to get in on my break, man, and say that Bud got a leg to stand on, being that, hey, I'm the only undefeated motherfucker at 147 that the people want to see. So give them some wiggle room based on the fact that the fans, that's the only fight that's really truly intriguing at 147. I don't believe Thurman can beat Spence. When it comes to Bud, I actually think that Thurman could beat Bud to anybody at 147 because he's not a true 147. But one that has us locked in and has us intrigued
is the Spence Bud fight. And if it really can do them numbers, do it first at Dallas Stadium, go to his house, play by his rules. But like I said, once it hits a certain number, man, and another nickel. So it's that way it's 55-45. Get it a little bit closer. It's also the money that Spence would be making. We can't just always look at how and say, hey, it's the most money Bud. It's also gonna triple Spence's income.
Well, let me say something real quick. Let me say something to you real quick. This fight is definitely over $100 million fight. And the reason I said, and I think that this fight could sell, it could sell 1 million pay-per-view. They have to promote it right, both sides. And the reason I say that is because, like I said earlier, I keep my ear to the streets. I talk to people that don't watch boxing, right? And people that do watch boxing. And they all asking me, like I get people asking me all the time that I know don't know shit about boxing. They don't even watch boxing. They don't follow it. When is that dude Errol Spence gonna fight Terence Crawford? I hear that shit all the time. When it gets to that level, when you start hearing it from fans that you know that don't watch boxing, that's when you know that it's a huge fight. The same thing when Anthony Joshua and Wilder got to that point.
Let me say this.
To be made, he ain't gonna turn down no 40 million.
Let me tell this to you, bro.
Get out of this corona, they gonna get it. Once we get out of this corona, because you know I live in Vegas. They dying to use that damn Raiders Stadium. They done built a brand new stadium. We ain't used it one time. You know what I mean? Right. So I think you got to go to Dallas first to pay that respect to Spence, because he's the one that's bringing the fans. So you go to Dallas first, but then if you do a second go round, we're gonna take it to Vegas. And I just hope that they really can draw that kind of money, because they deserve each other. Those are people they say they need each other. I think these two fighters actually deserve each other. Like, y'all can really do the thing about era. Every era we get something special. And I think they're young enough and they hungry enough to give us that special thing that we want. So I'm just gonna be patient as a fan. You know what I mean? Because you notice Bud barely talking now. He prideful like Bernard Hopkins. But you know what? Pride can come before the fall. So I think he need to know when to pull the trigger and come up off that pride if it comes down to that.
It's time for him to come off the pride now, bro. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I like what you said.
Money. But I don't want to interrupt. Money. Hold it down. Money. I gotta handle something. Hold it down for me.
I got you. This is what it comes down to, bro. When you say throw in the extra nickel, no, it is a 60-40 fight, and that's why Errol Spence is not gonna budge off his square, bro. Because yes, they they do need each other, and Errol is gonna make as much money at 147 that he will against Bud. But that Bud is not the only big fight for Errol Spence, right? Because Errol Spence is making his name and becoming a pay-per-view star. Now, when you see what he's doing, Errol Spence has 2 more weight classes to conquer. Yeah. He has 2 more weight classes to conquer. So, in all nationality, Bud Crawford do need Errol Spence for his biggest payday. He need that fight. Now, credit, they both gonna make good money with each other. But once we look at what's going down, bro, that's why I say we got to put respect on what each fighter is doing. You know what I mean? And that's why people get shit misconstrued at. Errol Spence has put himself in position, bro. He has put himself, and he continue to put himself in position, because now it's like he's finna give you Dennis Ugas and fight on his 4th pay-per-view in a row. All that shit do stand for something when it comes to the business table. That's why Bud Crawford got to get the fucking Sean Porter fight to keep that shit close at 60-40, in my opinion. But you can't disregard what another man is doing. And just because you say, well, Bud got the accolades and he undefeated, he knocked out 8 people in a row. Okay, you put Errol Spence, you put those same fighters in the ring with Errol Spence, he had knocked out 8 fighters in a row. Matter of fact, he already beat 1 and stopped 1 and fucking Kell Brook. So he already knocked him out, right? We already know Khan already been knocked out by Danny Garcia, who Errol Spence just beat. Now, I do give you credit for beating Jeff Horn, but like I say, everybody else, in my opinion, would have ran through. But that's not to take credit away from Bud. I ain't gonna even go there. Jeff Horn, Benavidez, Mean Machine, you beat them. But still, just because they were undefeated, them names don't hold more weight, right? Than Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia. It don't hold more weight than them dudes. Yeah. They don't hold more weight than Lamar Peterson name, to be honest with you.
You know, let me say something.
Hold on, Kamei. So when we're looking at that situation, bro, You have to put Errol Spence in a proper perspective that he's in and say, okay, well, Bud, like you say, it's time to let the fucking ego go and understand on the business side that you're not the A side, bro, and it's not a 50-50 fight. And it's going to take for Bomac to understand that as well, and Team Crawford, the ones that's the crazy fanatics, to understand that shit as well. Because that's what you work hard for. You get in this game to put yourself in position to win, not just the accolades, but financially as well, bro. That's just how the game goes. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna jip themselves because just like Bud got a family, Errol Spence got a family to feed. And nobody's trying to forfeit a dollar, especially when you earn that dollar. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna come down to Bud understanding that shit, and like you say, understanding that we can do something special, and it's if it's $100 million fight, and it very well can be, because it's not just like I say talking to casual fans. When you look at 1,000 interviews and they're going around the world to Germany, to Asia, I'm talking about, bro, in Asia, in Germany, with my own eyes, they ask them, what fights do you want to see? They're asking them what fights besides the heavyweight, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Every motherfucker saying they're paid to see that fight. Everybody saying they're paid to see it. You can sell that bitch for $99.99 right now, bro.
I'll buy it. Yeah, I'll buy it.
Exactly. $100, and that bitch will sell like hotcakes. So Bud got to understand that 40%, bro, is a fucking lump sum of money for you as well. And my thing with him, when he always saying, I'm a Hall of Famer already. Okay, if you're a Hall of Famer already, bro, you should be worrying about filling up your motherfucking bank account.
At this point.
And exactly at this point. And Errol Spence is your biggest fucking fight, dog. You're not gonna make no money like you're gonna make with Errol Spence Jr. And right now at 47, it's the same for Errol Spence. The Bud Crawford is the biggest payday for you, but at 47, when he go to 54 and 60, if he take the right route, he's still gonna make. He might surpass the Bud Crawford payday.
Yeah, Spence got a lot of money to make.
Yeah, so for Bud, it's your biggest payday. And here I come from, mate. For Bud, it's your biggest payday, bro. So you got to be smart enough to understand that shit and put the ego to the side. Put all this bullshit. Okay, what the YouTube and whatever every motherfucker saying. Put that shit to the side, bro, and do your motherfucking business. And hopefully, people talking about wait till October he leave, want to keep the money in house. Hopefully that is the plan, because if you side back with Bob Earn, we all know what the fuck will happen. Yeah. So at the end of the day, bro, they just respect every man for whatever position they in, and if they work their ass off, get them dudes what they deserve, bro. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, I'd be saying the same shit about Terence Crawford.
Yeah, he ain't gonna come up off the dime. Before I get out of here, I'm gonna say I hope this is my hope. I know it's a long shot, but hopefully October, man, he terminate with Top Rank, sign the TMT, and he can even out a whole bunch of things if he make a move like that, man. Y'all take care.
Peace.
That's right. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta kind of piggyback off my man Knockout.
Let me tell you something, man. I ain't see none of you motherfuckers there that was talking all that shit. Errol Spence this, Errol Spence that. None of you motherfuckers ain't clicked that link, so we know what it is for y'all.
Right.
It's the chat, bro. I've been telling them, hop on the panel, stop typing, hop on the panel. My bad, man. Go ahead.
But you know what? I said that earlier today. Like Bud Crawford got thumb supporters, keyboard supporters, not supporters who actually buy pay-per-views, or supporters that actually, will do something besides just troll, because it's like anything Errol Spence does, it's like it make their panties tight or something. It's weird to me, quite honestly, man. And my issue with that whole thing with the fight being made is this. You have, and this is a thing that I've noticed within the black community. I can speak on it because I'm black. Is that a lot of times good deals are messed up because we so worried about what the other person is making instead of what we can get out of the situation or what we make out of the situation. And that's the mentality that I'm constantly seeing here. And it normally only happens when it's two black people doing business. Because when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, they're not worried about how much he's making. They worried about how much they're going to get on that end. If it was an alleged 50 million and Manny Pacquiao got 40, he got 10. Well, it doesn't seem like he's so worried about what Manny Pacquiao's making. He's just worried. He's just saying, look, this is the biggest payday I'm going to make. I'm going to get it. But when it comes to Errol Spence, for some reason, it's always what he's making, his little career, And it seems like after a while there might be some type of brotherhood when it comes to the sport of boxing, but it does seem as it's personal for some reason, and I can't understand why, because both of these guys have very similar characteristics. Both guys don't speak much, both guys aren't too loud or too flashy, both about their business. And the sad thing is, the fight is not going to be able to be made while he's over there at Top Rank, because the doctrine of what Arum has said about 50-50, they just have to ride with it. Because if you notice, anytime there's a question that's asked to Terence Crawford about the fight being made, he don't even say nothing. He just look at the Amir Khan fight. Look at the Kell Brook fight. When they asked him about Spence, he said he wanted to fight Pacquiao. When they asked him about Spence, he looked at Bob Arum. He never he don't come out and say nothing when Arum is there, because I guess when your balance sheet is in the red and you're not making money for your company, and that's the way that they want to recoup the losses that they've incurred with you, then you're not really in a position to say what you want to happen, because there's a certain level of maybe guilt, which is not really his fault, because he's not the one who lines these fights up. But I do feel like at the end of the day, these guys got to come together, and they need to make the fight. I don't believe that either one of them are scared of each other. I think that's a false narrative that is pushed. But as Monty said, if you were the one doing the heavy lifting, and we could go back and forth about resumes, but listen, when you start out as a boxer, one of the lifelong dream for any amateur boxer is to become a professional world champion. Once you become a world champion, that doesn't mean that you are made. We look at Rigondeaux back in the day, couldn't get a fight. We look at Gary Russell Jr., who's a world champion, can't get fights. The next level and the highest level of boxing is being a pay-per-view fighter. That's when you're the top echelon of the sport, is when you're a pay-per-view fighter. And when a network decides that they're going to invest their money in you in that regard. And the fact just remains that Terence Bud Crawford took his crack at pay-per-view twice, and the plan that they did it with, it wasn't a successful plan. Got nothing to do with him as a fighter. It just have to do with timing, and it got to do with positioning. And if Errol Spence put himself in a position to be a pay-per-view fighter, and is successful, and people are showing up to his fights, and he's doing record numbers in a pandemic, and you're being considered with the likes of, quote unquote, the face of boxing, or a Canelo Alvarez, then you got to take a back seat. And you know what? No matter what, it's interesting to me. A lot of the same fans that give Floyd Mayweather such a hard time about his resume, which he got nothing but world champions on his resume, right? They gave Floyd Mayweather a hard time, but for some reason, when we talk about Terence Crawford resume, they don't have a problem with it. It's just kind of weird that people just kind of pick and choose who they like, how they like them, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And what Terence Crawford has proven in the ring is A+++++. What he's proven in the ring, because he ain't the matchmaker. But from a business standpoint, because this matters, because you know what? If the fighters paid themselves, then the fight would have been made already. Terence Crawford could do 50-50 if he paid himself. But that's not how the fight game works. You got networks that invest. You got promoters who put these events together, and these networks expect their money back. It's like a flip. The network is like the cartel. The promoter is like Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like the promoter goes and takes the product out, and then he gotta get the money back. And when you coming back to your connect with a short on this guy that's your investment, what you supposed to do? So it ain't Errol Spence's fault. You can't blame this guy that he know his worth. I just think that these guys need to come to the table, and it's not going to happen until Terence Crawford gets some better people in his ear from a business perspective. And I'm talking about the whole team. I'm talking about from Aram to Bomac, because you can't sit up, and this is the thing, right? You can't sit up and say fuck Al Heyman, right, publicly, because you ain't over there, but then have this guy Errol come out and put stuff in the press about you, put stuff in the about your fighter, put stuff in the press about you, and then just say, "Oh, he's just an old gentleman."
That's just Bob being Bob.
That's just him being him.
But it's different, bro. Go ahead,
right.
though. Yeah.
But a guy that you never even met, because I know for a fact Bomac ain't never even met Al Heyman. And most people, if Bob can't even get in contact with him at the time, we know he never even met Al Heyman. How can you say F this dude? You know, and then you want to sit up and say, okay, we want a 50-50 split. You know, because the things that you say, they normally come back to haunt you. The same way you come out and say someone living check to check, you know, when no one even asks you about that. You know, it's like, now does money make everything better? Because I know Terence Crawford is rich as hell, but he don't seem too happy in his situation. So is it really about being rich, or is it really about money? Because you know, money can make you comfortable, but it can't buy you happiness. It can make shit real comfortable for you, but you know, if you have something on the inside of you that's unhappy, money's not going to fix that, man. So you know what? I just say this: these guys need to make the fight. The guys that are constantly bashing Errol Spence because of what he's saying, listen, blame yourselves, because if you guys would have went out and purchased Terence Crawford's pay-per-view, we wouldn't be in this situation. You know, instead of typing and talking bad about Errol Spence and this person's ducking, well, you know, my message to y'all is y'all ducking, supporting the guy that y'all talking about is y'all guys gonna do this and that. You know, show up to his fights. You know, order ESPN Plus. When the fights come out, make sure you order the fight and support the guy, or else your words are just words at the end of the day. Because the one of the things that I know is that as soon as I had determined that Spence was my favorite fighter, I made a pledge to either buy his fights on pay-per-view or actually go to his fights. If I can't make it to a fight, then I'm gonna make sure I order the fight. So if that's how you really feel about Bud Crawford, and if you and all the guys who out there screaming 50-50, well, you know what? Order Bud's fight so you can have a credible argument. Because when a guy is selling 50 pay-per-views against Victor Postile, and it take over 3 weeks, I thought this was so interesting. It took over 3 weeks for some skewed numbers that we can't even find about Amir Khan, where they're saying 125,000, but Bob Arum came out in 3 days to say Danny Garcia and Errol Spence did less than it actually did. You know, you guys got to go out and support this guy. You know, no one's knocking him as a fighter, but you can't sit around and just knock a fighter because you want to see a fight happen and you're not contributing to actually making a fight happen.
1 second, Kwame, 1 second. Tyrell, you want to jump your ass there, hit that link and bring your ass on the panel. Don't talk from the chat. Don't tell Kwame shut up. You say the same shit. Come on and tell them.
Well, they say the same shit too. I mean,
listen, he ain't fighting on ESPN Plus. Okay, well, bring your ass on the panel, because last time we checked, and M Stat, you gotta wait till Keon get back. I seen you say you was in the background. Wait till Keon get back. He gonna pull you on. We can't pull you on because it's his show, bro.
Listen, these guys are just
real quick. Let me say something, because I gotta run, man. I got another appointment I gotta get to for work. But I wanted to say thank you to Money Brown. Thank you to Everything Boxing. Kwame, salute to you, the entire chat. You know, thank y'all for watching. Y'all keep rocking out with these fellas. I gotta jump off, but y'all support these dudes, man. All three of them that I'm up here with right now, they all got channels. They all doing their thing, and they keep it real. Whether you agree with them or not, you know that you're getting their genuine opinions. You know that they gonna tell you how they feel, and so you can't do nothing but respect that when somebody's giving you who they are, on this platform, man. So respect to everybody on the panel. I'm sorry that
drop your link. Like, it's all good, bro. Do what you got to do, fam. Drop that link, though.
Drop the link for everybody. Y'all show me love. Subscribe to me if you can. I ain't calling myself the best, but I keep it consistent and I keep dropping content. So y'all come check me out whenever you have an opportunity to. Salute to everybody on the panel. Y'all stay easy, stay blessed, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Money, you doing the show tonight?
Yes, sir. You know I am.
I will be in the building, man. Y'all go check out Money too. I know most of y'all gonna do it anyway, but go check out Money tonight, man. He gonna be doing his thing. But I'll hop off and I'll catch y'all later, bro.
Peace, brother.
Yeah, who we got in the building?
What's going on? What's going on? It's M Stacks. What up, Money? What up?
What's going on?
Salute, Keon. Now, I know there's a lot of Spence fans. I know there's a lot of Crawford fans, but there's not that many boxing fans left. I'm holding both these boys accountable. We're talking about pay-per-view. Pay-per-view, once upon a time, where two fighters get together, both, you don't know who's going to win that fight. That's a pay-per-view. Spence Crawford is a pay-per-view. Spence versus Ugas, I got Spence outpointing Ugas all day. All day. And I know a lot of you do too. All right. Sean Porter shown a lot of flaws, a lot of weaknesses. There's plenty of blueprints to beating Sean Porter. Those fights can marinate. What's wrong with getting Spence versus Crawford next? We worried about undisputed. Since when have boxing fans been worried about belts? Seriously, the casuals are buying this fight. They're gonna spend the money. They don't give a damn about them damn belts. The Spence Crawford fight is what they give a damn about. That can happen next. Instead, everybody's on Instagram. Everybody's on social media. But that's not what I'm mad at. I'm mad at the fans for supporting the bullshit, for buying the bullshit, for buying every shitty fight. Of course they're going to put on shitty fights if we keep buying shitty fights. This Spence versus Ugas shit, that can marinate. This Spence versus Crawford, we going on 3 years. Now he's saying not this year, maybe next year. So we're going to wait 4 years. We're going to wait probably just as long as we waited for Pacquiao and Mayweather. But with Pacquiao and Mayweather, I remember negotiations actually happening. I remember negotiations failing for one reason or another. In this case, we're not even getting negotiations. Spence was going to fight Danny Garcia before the car crash, before COVID happened. He was going to fight him regardless. And then if you listen hard enough to after the fight when they're unstrapping his gloves, he says so himself. Garcia was a tune-up, a mere tune-up. But yet, what are we waiting on now? Let me stop you,
because first of all, just because Earl said Spence was a tune-up, that wasn't no fucking tune-up fight, bro. Now,
it was a tune-up.
Check this out. No, you
want to say the fighter. The fighter says he's a tune-up.
Now, check this out.
I'm going to believe the fighter because he made him look like a tune-up.
Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, right? That's just the scale of Errol Spence. Errol Spence and Bud Crawford only been realistic for 1 year. It ain't been no 3 years for that fight happening. It only been realistic for 1 year that we can get that fight, right? Now you saying,
why you say that?
You said because first Errol Spence got into a car crash where he had to sit out almost a fucking year, and then he came back and fought Danny Garcia at the end of 2020. Bud became champion in 2018, right? They weren't trying to put Bud in the ring with Errol Spence right away. And then when he first signed to fucking ESPN, when he signed to ESPN wasn't trying to make Errol Spence and Terence Crawford right away, because why would you send him right over to PBC after you just signed him, right? The fight was nowhere near as big as it is today. So you're not fit to put him right in the ring with Errol Spence, signing him to a fucking contract straight with ESPN. Now, when you say the Ugas fight can marinate, why do another championship fight have to marinate when Errol Spence put an offer out there in 60-40, right? And Bud turned it down and say, nope, if it ain't 50-50, then it ain't going to happen. Now, this 60-40 offer has been sent while Errol Spence is the unified world champion, right? Coming off back-to-back pay-per-views, pulling in more numbers than fucking Terence Crawford. So you can't sit up here and say, oh, well, why can't we get the fight? Like the verbal offer won't agree because people want to say, well, you ever sent the offer? Well, guess what? It's a verbal offer. And every fucking fight start off with a verbal offer. So now when you look at Errol Spence, right? And you say, oh, well, why can't we get this fight? If we know that these people is not going to make the fight happen with me, if they talking about they don't want the fight as a 50-50 fight, if they talking about they waiting on Manny Pacquiao, they want a Pacquiao fight first, and they doing this, why am I going to sit around and wait and try to negotiate if they not like already, if they talking about no to a 60-40 deal, he talking about 50-50 and Bud Crawford look like he's standing on a 50-50 firm shit. And then you got Bob Arum out here talking about, oh, they don't want the fight, this, that, and the third, and they want Manny Pacquiao and that type of shit. Nobody's gonna put their fucking career on hold, bro. Now, like I'm saying, Ugas has a title now. He has a title now. So that means he's a world champion. That means there's one step closer to undisputed. You can say, oh, who's looking for undisputed? Errol Spencer turns Bud Crawford for undisputed is bigger. It's even bigger if for all the fucking marbles. You feel me? So now
I feel you, but at the same time, it's not convenient. We can get this fight next. It need to strike while the iron's hot.
Listen, bro. How's the world championship fight is not convenient? Of course, Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence is the bigger fight. Yes, if we can get it next, you fucking right. I want that fight next. If we can get it next, but
so let's put our foot on their neck.
Everything is lining up, showing us that we not getting it next. That's the point. We're not gonna sit around here and play fairy tale if the shit ain't gonna happen.
Okay, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Spence happens.
If it ain't gonna happen,
what changes then?
What changes then is nowhere else for Errol Spence to go. Understand? Errol Spence was trying to get the look. Manny Pacquiao was right there with the title. They was chasing Manny Pacquiao for the WBA Super. We all know that was the leverage fight. If Bud could have got the Manny Pacquiao fight, guess what? Now Bud is unified, and now Bud comes to the table and say, motherfucker, I just beat Manny Pacquiao off a good-ass pay-per-view fight. 50, I got 2 scraps, 50-50, and nobody can say shit.
Wow, what I'm saying is, hold on. What I'm saying is, he get that third belt, right?
Wait, bro.
Get that third belt.
Look, bro, I'm gonna get to your point. Errol Spence was trying to get Manny Pacquiao because he knew if I get Manny Pacquiao and I get the third scrap up off his ass, I still got the leverage over Terence Bud Crawford. I'm still coming off another pay-per-view fight, and I'm still the ace side of this shit. Now that Ugas got the scrap, right? He got the scrap, and now Bud talking about no to a 60-40 split. Now Errol Spence said, all right, well, you don't want that shit. Well, guess what? Ugas right over here on my side, and we can make this shit happen so I can go over here and beat his ass and get the third scrap from Ugas, and it's still a quality fight because Ugas is the top 10 fucking welterweight. You know what I mean? He's a top 10 welterweight because everybody's saying the same shit about, oh, well, Bud can get the Ugas fight. So it's okay for Bud to get the Ugas fight, but since Earl won it, it ain't okay. Just like they was trying to say, oh, it's okay for, they pissed off that this man trying to get the fight with Pacquiao, but now that Bud got it, they saying this and that. Well, nobody was pissed off at Bud getting a fight with Manny Pacquiao. So now that if Ugas, Earl get the strap up off of Ugas, Errol Spence can't go nowhere after that shit. There's nothing else to do. You said you want to be the undisputed champion, homie. The only thing that was holding up y'all was that WBA Super. Now, if you go get that WBA Super, what the fuck you finna do now, Earl? We don't want to see you fight nobody else, right? Nobody else but Terence Bud Crawford. That's it. That's it. That's all.
But he's not gonna fight him because the split's not right. They're arguing. They're not arguing over belts. They're arguing over the money split.
But that's the whole
money split. The money split ain't gonna change just because he get a third belt. He can say 75-25 all he want. But this super fight is a super fight.
It's not going to change, but it's going to make it more valid for us. Look, Earl. Look, if Bud wants to fight Sean Porter, and that's why I say Bud needs to fight Sean Porter next, bro. Because if he fights Sean Porter, then I still say it's 60-40, even if he go get the scrap from Ugas, right? Because I say Sean, Bud, and Thurman to beat Ugas. All them motherfuckers high risk for Ugas. But if you go beat Ugas and if this dude go beat Sean Porter, then it's still a 60-40 split. But it make it that 60-40 that much more valid because I'm sitting over here with 3 scraps now and you only got 1 fucking title. So nobody can say, oh, you know what, Earl, the people, Tyrell, motherfucking little baby Crawford, you or whomever else saying that, oh, it's not a 60-40 fight, right? Nobody can say it's not a 60-40 fight now if the man holding on to 3 scraps. It's a 60-40 fight right now, and he got 2 scraps. But if the man get 3 scraps, it's damn sure nothing nobody can say on a 60-40 fight. So it's always chess and not checkers, bro.
Monty, let me say this real quick. A lot of times what people fail to realize is that this is show business still. Like the fight game is entertainment, it's show business. And the reason I've been so patient with this is because I've already known from the beginning that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford were not going to fight until it was for an undisputed title, because Terence Crawford was undisputed at 140. So the way that the whole fight and the way that they were going to promote this fight in order for it to be $100 million fight was to have the the former unified champion for 140 to be fighting the top welterweight at welterweight for undisputed. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that was the whole thing with, I'm going to go clean up my side of the street and get the belts. And it's always been a thing of leverage, because the leverage has always been that PBC had the majority of the belts. And that's always been what the issue has been, So listen, people just had to be patient and just wait for it to play out the way it's going to play out. Now, here's the thing.
Hey, y'all smash that like button too. Go ahead, y'all smash the like button, family.
Yeah. So people have to think, these guys are going to try to go in there and kill each other in the ring. It has to be for all the marbles. Now, if you got a problem with having to wait for the belt, see, because here's one of the things that I learned, working in corporate America. And I noticed that a lot of black people don't understand corporate America, and they think that show business or boxing is not corporate America. It is corporate America. I work for a cable company that owns NBC, which is a network. These are networks. I know how this shit works. This stuff has nothing to do with emotions. It has nothing to do with belts for these networks to put up this money. It has everything to do with generated sales. That's it. There's no emotions in business. You can't run up in there emotional talking about, I want to do this, I want to do that. If anyone takes a look at one of the top, if anyone takes a look, what's that?
I said that's where we blame Crawford.
Right.
That's his part. That's his wrongdoing. Like anyway, I said, I'm holding both of them accountable. Go ahead.
Right. So my point is this: it's like if you take a look at one of the top shows on cable, which is Shark Tank, you have these entrepreneurs who come in and they make a pitch for money from a shark, from an investor. They say what their product could do and how great it is. Go watch Shark Tank and you'll see that the sharks ask the same question every time. How much did you do in sales last year? How much have you sold? That's all that matters. That's all that matters is what you sold, because they can't write a check based off the belts you got. They can't write a check based off none of that stuff. They can only write a check based off how much revenue you generated and is it profitable for me to make an investment in this and to get your biggest return. Because see, in this type of fight, and people want to be mad about this, but we just got to spit the facts. The reality is Crawford held up the fight. Crawford's side, I'm not going to say Crawford as a fighter has held up the fight because he did what he had to do in the ring, but his side has held up the fight because they don't have the numbers. They don't have the number to support any type of joint venture. They don't have the numbers to support it. They don't. They cannot go into a boardroom with these executives and say, hey, you know what? I heard multiple people say this is $100 million fight. They have no leverage. If you take Errol Spence out of the equation and you take Bob Arum and Terence Crawford and walk them into an executive's room and say, we want $100 million. We want a budget to make $100 million fight. You know what they're going to say? Show me your sales. And guess what happens when they show up with the 50,000 from Postal and 150,000, we being generous with Amir Khan, they're gonna fucking laugh at them and tell them to get the fuck out their office. Point blank, period. And it has nothing to do with Monty. That got nothing to do with Keon. That got nothing to do with me. That got nothing to do with you. The fact remains that this shit has been held up due to COVID and money, and the fact that these two guys are out here on social media calling each other out and talking is actually a great thing to keep it relevant until we can actually get people back in the seats, because they're not going to invest in a big fight like this with the type of numbers that Terence Crawford garners. They I mean, would you do it?
Nah.
I wouldn't do it. I mean, okay,
Nah.
we say, you know what, Terence Crawford, you a great fighter. You don't have 8 KOs in a row. You done all these things. This is, we love you in the ring, Terence. But the fact of the matter is, you're just not a money maker for us. We love you, but in business, there's no emotions in business. There's no emotion in business. We could like you all day, but we not. You heard what Bob Arum said. I'm not going bankrupt, taking a gamble on Terence Crawford. I'm not taking a hit to my net worth. Those are the big boy conversations.
But you said something that stuck with me.
Let me say this, Coach. What's going down, big dog? How you doing, Coach?
But go ahead, brother. What were you saying?
My thing is, can we get some negotiations? I know Crawford said no, but I guess he's not calling the shots. Obviously, Bob Arum hasn't said no. Can we get some negotiations going?
There has been negotiations.
You said they walk into the boardroom and they say, "Show me your sales," but we're not even getting that.
I mean,
that's my problem.
Bob Arum said he did that already.
Bob Arum had shit on the fight himself, so we look at Bob Arum, you can't take him for his word, bro.
Right,
like and that's the thing. He's talking about Al Heyman don't exist and shit like that. But when it comes down to this, bro, and this was what Kwame was saying, it's going to come down to what the numbers is and Bud and them accepting that they're not the A side, bro. First of all, they not sending the offer. Terence Crawford and Bob Arum is not sending the offer. That's what we do know. That's what we do know right off the bat. They not the ones sending the offer. The offer is going to come from the PBC side, right? And by Errol Spence saying 60-40, it was on Bud Crawford to bag his ass up in the corner and say, I accept that motherfucker. You feel me? You put that out there, that's your number, I accept the 60-40. And that way, everything turned on Errol Spence motherfucking ass to where we say, okay, Earl, now you said 60-40, Bud already accept that shit, homie. You need to come on and do what the fuck you got to do because, like, that's how we get closer. You feel me? But by Bud saying no and by Bud coming out saying, oh, I don't need him, it is an ego thing on both sides. Both of these motherfuckers got egos. But it don't matter what the
and that's the thing. They need to leave that shit at home, do business, and sell the fight. That includes post-fight interviews. No. You say each other's name. You don't leave each other's name out. If you're trying to sell $100 million fight, you sell that $100 million fight.
It don't take away from the facts, though. The facts still remains that Errol Spence is doing more and Errol Spence deserves more. That's what it's gonna come down to, and that's what people have to realize that shit. They say, all right, man, fuck it. All right. Because right now, it looked like people looking at this shit and trying to make it like, well, Earl trying to little boy Crawford. And this, that, and this social media shit. Right. So where they letting that shit get to the head.
What I'm so worried about is us. I'm worried about the fans because we always get these super fights or one of these guys or both of these guys lose. We always get that bullshit.
Errol Spence
I'm tired of that bullshit.
Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, in my opinion, nobody can beat them but themselves. It's just me. I know anything can happen.
Time can beat them.
Who?
Time.
Look, Kwame, let me say this. We keep talking about time, bro. We keep acting like, oh, we don't want them to get old. We act like these motherfuckers aging like they 35 or some shit. I know Bud at the age he at, but bro, these dudes ain't slowing down, bro. We keep talking about time. Like this fight not for to be drug out for the next 5 or this or that shit. I believe it's going to come up either like after this fight gonna happen. I think they go fight next. My opinion, that's what I think. Because we looking at this shit like neither one is slowing down, bro. Neither one is slowing down. So we keep saying time, like, oh, time. Man, listen, it's gonna come down to them boys understanding who is the A side and just accepting that shit. That's it. That's what we gonna get this fight made.
I just want to address this because brother spoke about negotiations, but that's a little inaccurate because there was negotiations because we got to remember
the word when.
I'm gonna get into that right now. You got to remember Bob Arum went and signed Tyson Fury right after Deontay Wilder Fury won. They met up. He actually met with Al Heyman, and they negotiated Wilder Fury 2, correct? And he had came out and he said that he also spoke to Al Heyman, and the Terence Crawford Errol Spence fight is gonna happen. These are the words out of Bob Arum's mouth. Now, because we get really caught up into the soap opera of what's going on with the fighters and what's being said, this, that, and the other. Me, I kind of always have a different perspective on stuff. I'm a chess player. I look at the whole situation. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, you have Bob Arum come out and say the fight's going to happen. We was negotiating, it's going to happen. Then you have the situation with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. This is a big money fight. The big money fight. Whatever happens, who wins, who loses.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna be in the chat. I can't. I'm gonna be in the chat.
Okay, brother. Whatever happens, these guys, whoever wins or loses, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, to whatever controversy, I don't care nothing about that. But now you have a chance where Arum, Al Heyman, Fury, and Wilder are supposed to be negotiating a rematch clause that is in a contract, and they stall out and renege on the rematch. They use COVID as an excuse to not remake the fight because it's supposed to be a big money fight and to have seats, and they want people to actually be there. They wait for the December 5th date to go past, and then they go and try to make a fight with Fury and Joshua. So do you really think, once I've done business, and I'm talking from Heyman's point of view, I've done business with you in the biggest financial fight in the history of boxing with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. After that's done, you sue me, right? Because you lost, then you sue me after that. Now again, you can't get in contact with me. Now you calling me a cancer and stuff because you can't contact me and saying that I don't exist. Then you go and sign Tyson Fury because you know that's going to force a seat at the table for a negotiation. And then you try to squeeze in Errol Spence, Crawford. You try to squeeze in Lomachenko and Tank. The fight goes where Tyson Fury wins, and now you renege on the rematch. So now all of a sudden, and we know that these heavyweight fights are huge multi-million-dollar fights. So now that we have two situations where we've done business and it's been some shady business, you think Heyman's is gonna give this guy any leverage at all now with this fight? He's gonna wait for the whole situation to drag out, knowing that Crawford is talking about leaving, got an attorney to file a grievance, knowing that his contract is coming up. Do you really think that he's gonna be like, okay, yeah, let's make this fight happen? No, he's gonna go ahead. He's gonna go ahead and make this fight with Ugas so they can have the 3 belts, and they're gonna sit at the table, and it's gonna be a hard ass negotiation again. And the fight's gonna finally either get made with Bob Arum, or it's going to get made without Bob Arum, depending on what Terence Crawford decides to do after October when his contract expires. And a lot of people don't look at how all of that stuff played out, but all of these things played a big factor. You go and have a rematch contract and a rematch clause in one of the biggest fights in the heavyweights, and then you renege on it. And people got to take you to court and arbitration. This is 2 times they've done big business, and some shit is wound up in court. This is 2 times. So it's so interesting because, you know, when there was Anthony Joshua, think about this now, because people say, oh, it's always a problem. Al Heyman don't want to do business with anybody. Well, I think it's interesting when Anthony Joshua lost to Ruiz. You know, that was Eddie Hearn, and that was Al Heyman. And Al Heyman's fighter won just the way that people thought Wilder probably was going to win. But guess what? They got a rematch done right away. There was no bullshit. There was no There was no fights in between, and there was none of that stuff. And they got their fight again, and it happened. But it seems that every time this guy Arum show up, there's always an issue. They always headed into court. There's always some BS going on, and that's the long and short of it. People may not want to admit it, but the fact remains that these are the facts, and most of these people that's sitting on here talking, they don't even want to talk to somebody if they loan them $5 and they don't get the $5 back. So you sit around and get sued for $300 million, or actually it was $100 million, and then you try to then this guy weasels his way in to do another business deal with you, and then when a rematch happens, when a rematch is supposed to happen, the rematch don't happen, then you got to go back into court. Shit. I'm not mad at how this is playing out. The only thing that I'm a little upset about is the fact that Terence Crawford is over there with that guy, because we've seen in the past that if people want to talk about, Errol Spence is negotiating in the media and in the public. Well, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Every time there's a fight that's going to be made, Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, Lamont Peterson, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia. We don't never hear nothing about no money or no negotiations going on in the public. The fights just get made.
Kwame, let me say this, Kwame. Let me say this. My man say, we don't never talk good about Bud Crawford. We ain't got no love for Bud. And I see the other dudes talking about, you see how bitch that A shit make, how much the A side make boxing look like some bitch ass shit. Man, y'all just say that shit because y'all want to defend Bud. We always talk good about Bud. It's only when we do say the good shit about Bud, you motherfuckers let it go over y'all head and y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all only come around when the motherfuckers talking about Earl and Terence Bud Crawford, and y'all look at this shit as being in the negative light. We're not talking bad about Bud right now. Y'all taking it like that. All we doing is talking about the business side and showing y'all how one man deserved what he said he deserved and how another don't deserve what he's saying he deserved. Nobody is shitting on Bud. Nobody has down Bud. Nobody has said Bud is this, that, and the third. Motherfuckers giving Bud his praises as well, but y'all don't look at it that way. Y'all just look at the shit as y'all want the big competition. Y'all ain't saying nothing good about Bud, this. No, man, the facts are the facts, bro. Period. The facts are the facts. And we not finna sugarcoat or hold no motherfucker hand or try to gank nobody out their money or try to make shit sound good to fit no narrative or none of that shit. Y'all want motherfuckers to be up here saying, oh, you know what, if Earl would just do this to compromise to make the fight, Bud did this stuff. Nah, it ain't gonna work like that, bro. One man did what he had to do to put himself in position. The other man is in position. He's just not in the big position as one man. The other man is in a better position, and y'all can't get pissed off at that shit. Now, we talk like this because motherfuckers don't want to accept that shit. When we start breaking down shit, people don't want to break down that shit or break down Bud resume or say this or say that, but you got to say those type of things to prove the point. And when you start doing that and you start proving those points, people start taking that shit as hate and they don't like the shit. Well, accept it, bro. Accept it.
Right. Like I said, man, I didn't even want to go there earlier, because see, people just gonna hear what they want to hear, and then he just hate. But no, it's facts, and when y'all start talking that bullshit, you make us come with the facts, and you make us go there. It's too easy,
Too easy.
Yeah, man, y'all was in here cooking. Yeah, let me get through some of these comments.
That's a lot of damn comments.
Shit. Let me see. I think I seen
Tyrell the trivia came over. I think they ran out. I think man Kwame was dropping too much knowledge for their ass.
Yeah, man. They tried to, they tried to duck off and run real quick.
Marty keep cutting him off. I wasn't cutting him off. I was making the point.
Whenever you hit them with facts, they just resort to ignorance or jokes or name calling, But me, I just go back. Like, to me, the only thing that's a joke to me is the pay-per-view numbers, Buds. That's the only joke I see at the end of the day.
See, they ain't want to jump their ass up on this panel.
They ain't gonna do that, dog. They know better than that. They know better than that. And y'all hit the like button, you know. Y'all hit the like button.
Them niggas got silence like Malcolm X got silence. Them niggas can't speak.
Right. But you know,
shout out to the late Drew McIntyre though, because my boy
shout
Drew.
Out to the Drew, man.
Yeah, shout out to the late Drew.
Drew would have been
Drew would have came on here.
Drew, you know what I'm saying? He was a real one.
Yeah,
Drew jumped on. He don't care.
Right.
Drew went ducking no smoke.
Yeah, I know me, man. Like shit. I come on this motherfucker. I fuck with Keith. Kwame, my bro. And Monty too, Monty, man. You know, shit. Like I say, man. I love my daddy, man. You know, shit. Bud ain't paying me no money, but shit, my daddy is. Shit, you know. So, you know, and I'm telling y'all, dude. When that fight happened, dude. I'm telling y'all, go see, man. Bud is just on a different level, dude. Fuck the money, man. Fuck the money, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, but man. So I'm gonna switch it up real quick while we in here, you know, because I mean, shit. What more can we say about this situation? You know, what more can we really say? I think it will happen when Bob Arum, right? When Bob Arum decides, okay. See, the whole thing is about Bob wants to know, right, how much money he gonna get out of it. When Bob sees the opportunity that is at the all-time lucrative point to where he can get all the money that he wants out of it, then he will take Terence Crawford and have him go negotiate. Because I truly do believe, right? See, Terence Crawford, he has an ego. He don't want Errol Spence. He don't want another black man like Errol Spence, right? It's like he competing, right? He don't want Errol Spence to make more money than him, right? So it's that thing, that jealousy and that ego thing, and that's the truth. He don't want to see that man make more money than him, right? But
too late.
Also, right? Also, it's with Bob Arum telling him we're not gonna take no more than 50-50. Terence, but I told Terence Bud Crawford it's 50-50 or nothing. You know, so he didn't already told Bud they not taking no more than 50-50, right? Because Bob is telling Bud that, because Bob is about how much he gonna make when it comes down to the bottom line. That's what people don't understand. We could talk, oh, Bud this and Bud that. Bud can't do nothing without Bob's consent. So even if Bud said, you know what, Errol?
I want 60-40.
60-40.
Can't do it.
60-40. He still can't do it unless Bob say, okay, we'll do it. So Bob has to go to him and say, look, you know what? Excuse me. Bob has to go to him and say, you know what? We don't really got nothing else on the table right now. This is the fight that we want you to take. We're gonna go ahead and take the 60-40 split or the 70-30, whatever it is at that point in time, right? We're gonna go ahead and do it. But what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna put a rematch clause, right? And you're gonna be getting the bigger bag in the rematch if you can beat him, and we're gonna make this money, bud. That's what we got planned for you. That's what we're gonna do. If he does that, I truly believe then Bud will step down, right? And you know what I'm saying, step down off of his high horse, let his ego go a little bit and say, okay, let's do it, Bob. Let's do it. I'll take it. I'll take the 60-40. I'll take the 70-30. Just as long as you put that rematch clause, I think he'll do it. And I'm keeping it 100. But see, as long as Bob is backing him up on that 50-50, he's not going to do it. And Bob is not going to do it. It's all up to what Bob said at the end of the day. Because if Bob because see, this is what y'all don't understand, right? If Bob comes to Terence Crawford and say, look, the next fight we got for you is Errol Spence, but you got to take 70-30, or you got to take or you have to take 60-40, whatever it may be.
That's what he's gonna do.
You think that Terence Crawford can tell Bob Arum?
No.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. He's not gonna say that. He's not gonna say that, right? Because he has a choice. He can either do what Bob tell him to, or he can get out of his contract. He can get out of his contract. He can, because he only got to October. But if Bob were to go to him and tell him that, right, and the fight is on the table, I think that he would take it. And I'm just keeping it 100. But do I see Bob doing that? I don't see Bob doing that. Only way I see Bob doing that is if Bob looks at this fight and knows that it's a guarantee 150 mil or something like that, to where, you know, he's gonna calculate the split that he gonna get out of it, and then he'll be like, okay, we need to take that. Because at the end of the day, Bob is letting you know he's not taking no more shorts. He ain't taking no more losses when it comes to Terence Crawford. And he continues to let y'all know that he is a businessman at the end of the day. He's not in this for, okay, well, I'm gonna just make this shit just because, right? He don't give a damn about no fucking watching no Bud Crawford in Errol Spence fight. He don't care about that. That's what y'all don't understand.
Right.
He's seen hundreds and hundreds of Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fights in his motherfucking career.
Yeah.
He's seen fights 10 times better than Errol Spence and Terence Crawford could ever be.
Yep.
That's just you, and you know what I'm saying. That's just keeping it 100. He's not. He don't care. That man is damn near 90 years old. If he's not 90 yet, he doesn't care about the entertainment factor in all of that, right? At the end of the day, he does care about bringing good fights to his fan base, to the ESPN top ranked fan base. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is how much can he profit off of it? His whole thing is his profit. If he don't see that he's gonna go into a fight like this and he can't make the ultimate profit that he knows that this fight is worth, he's not gonna do it. So that's why he's saying it's 50-50 or nothing. You think that he cares about? He just came and told y'all, I've lost so much money on Terence Crawford. I can build a house in Beverly Hills, right? He already shitted on the man. So do you think he cares about, at the end of the day, how much Terence Crawford go home with in his pocket in the Errol Spence fight? That's not his ultimate concern. His ultimate concern is how much he can profit off of it. So if he knows that if the fight is 50-50, well, that's more money in his pocket. Common sense. If the fight is 60-40, well, that's taken from his bag. Y'all need to understand that. So y'all keep talking about, oh, well, what contract has Errol Spence sent? How can you send a contract when they're already telling you no? Why the fuck am I going to waste my time, get with my lawyers, have my lawyers write up a contract to a man that's and his fighter that's already telling you no? We're not taking that offer. Don't even waste your time sending those 60-40 because we're not taking it. So why the fuck are they going to waste their money and their time getting the lawyer to write up a contract that they already told you that they're not going to accept? So it baffles me when I hear all these guys in the comments and everywhere talking about well, Spence hasn't sent no contract. How come he ain't sent? They haven't sent no contract. A contract for what? You have to have a verbal agreement before they send the contract over.
That's right.
Do y'all have any type of common sense? Man, shit crazy, man. But we've been on here cooking. I don't know if you want to address some of the comments, Money, before we give our last words and get up out of here.
No, I addressed enough of them cats, but then none of the ass wanted to jump on, so I ain't worrying about them.
You see how they do when, you know what I'm saying, you handing them the smoke, but you know what I'm saying, you handing them the smoke. They got the cigar in their hand, but they scared to light that bitch.
They rather just type 1,000 damn words instead of come on here and speak their mind.
Yeah, that's what I told Travion. I'm not finna be up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. See, I go on the group and talk shit because Gourmet has a great group. You know what I'm saying? Look, and if y'all not subscribed to Loyal to the Game, Boxing Talk 2 on Facebook, right? It be going down up in there. If y'all got a Facebook, go subscribe to the boxing group, Loyal to the Game, Boxing Talk 2, right?
Yeah, it's Loyal to the Game, Boxing and Sports 2.
Oh, my bad. Loyal to the Game, Boxing and Sports 2, right? So, I go in there and, every now and then and go back and forth because, shit, he got a great group, you know what I'm saying, for participation. But other than that, I'm not finna be out. I used to do that shit. I'm not finna be hours and hours typing back and forth with you.
Right.
I'll let anybody know. if you really want some smoke, we can get on my platform. Money got a platform. Kwame got a platform, you know, or we can get on his live page on Facebook, and all you got to do is hit an ad. But if you don't want no smoke, I understand, you know. But everybody, if you ain't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, right? If you're watching and you're not subscribed, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Then go over to Money Brown TV. If you're not already subscribed to Money Brown, hit the bell icon. But first of all, hit the like button and then hit the bell icon so you get all of his notifications, right? And then go over to Loyal to the Game Boxing Talk on YouTube. Subscribe to Loyal to the Game Boxing Talk. My man Kwame Brown and Rico Baby over.
It's a Kwame Brown.
I mean, I always
you always do that.
I always say that, man. I'm gonna just fuck it, man. Your name is Kwame Brown. That's your name is Kwame Brown from now on. Yeah. That's his name now. That's it. That's his name. He got a nickname. Nicknames are just, you know what I'm saying? They just born. Shit, fuck it. Kwame Brown. You go to Kwame Brown, my man Kwame Brown on Loyal to the Game Boxing Talk on YouTube and hit that subscribe button straight up. But man, like I said, man, any last words from y'all before we get up out of here?
Yeah, salute to the chat, man. The chat was popping today, man. I think I saw a high of like 134 people in here, man. So you know, this I said this before. This is the next big boxing YouTube platform. This is actually my favorite YouTube show. And the participation is always incredible on here, man. So salute to the chat. And you know what? At the end of the day, people may be upset about it, but these fighters, they don't pay themselves, man. So when people get upset about money or business or whatever the case may be, that's only because we're addressing the elephant in the room of the fight not happening, not because we are volunteering to just be talking about business. Because I'm pretty sure myself, Monty, and Keon would, if we could see the fight tomorrow, we'd all order it or we'd all be there.
Man, I'll pay. Man, I shit you not. If they say you gotta pay $500 for this fight on pay-per-view, I'll pay for that shit. I'll pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Just get that shit done. But you know,
yeah, we know it's not going to be a Floyd Pacquiao because Errol Spence is never in a boring fight, and neither is Terence Crawford. You know, so it's going to be an action-packed fight. It just needs to happen.
Yes, sir. But yeah, let them know where to find you at once again, Kwame.
Yeah, go to Loyal to the Game Boxing on YouTube. Please go there and subscribe. Myself and Drika, we're going to have a show later on tonight. And also Loyal to the Game Boxing and Sports 2 on Facebook, where you know you could get out some of your aggressions. I'm seeing here in the chat. You get some of your aggressions out, and I guarantee you we will have some people in there to help address those aggressions for you. So, but it's all love. It's never personal. And salute again to the panel, and I appreciate you guys bringing me on.
Yes, sir. And Money, the big stepper. Let them know, Money.
Yes,
what you're cooking on tonight too.
Man, I appreciate everybody, man. Appreciate everybody for coming through, rocking out with me and Brody, man. Kwame, knockout, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to me at Money Brown TV tonight. Yes, sir, Coach. You have a good one, Coach. Yeah, we're gonna be cooking on how, you know, the Mexican fan base, you know, shitting on Errol Morales for saying that he feel like Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, you know, is a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? I will be dropping a video on that, you know, but they going crazy on Errol Morales, bro. He say he feel like they more technical, but he gave credit to Canelo. He say he feel like he the best Mexican fighter, but he feel like, you know, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is better than him. You know what I'm saying? So
they gonna be getting him on that.
And we go cook. But appreciate all y'all, man. Y'all continue to follow me on Instagram at money_the_writer. And y'all know I get down, man. Big dog status.
Peace, my brothers.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate everybody that tuned in, whether you disagree or agree with what we have to say. We appreciate the support. Salute to everybody in the chat. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again.
There's seniors in no department. Speed. power, chance, heart, none.
Alright.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Talking big facts, I ain't tell no lies. Real talk like fight fan. Slap a troll with my right hand. Hit the like button, watch the replay. Want all the smoke like EJ. Fuck a troll, what he say. I bomb a nigga like Wilder, boy. Spray the thing, make shower, boy. Tyson Fury, you a coward, boy. Box a nigga like Ego. Make you bow your head, take one knee like Kell Brook and Tim Tebow. Since the time that Lester been black and eyes like Debo. Like Debo? And I'm a breadwinner like Kevin Gates. Smoke strong, make you levitate. On my evil spins, might meditate. Gon' watch me, you gon' steady hate. But I pimp the game like 7-8. 7-8. And I'm a big stepper like Money Brown. I don't mess around, I don't fuck around. But I fuck around, I wear my crown. Fuck around, I wear my crown. Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.